That intro is gonna be epic.
What is up, everybody?
Yay.
Party.
Thank you guys for joining us for episode 3 of season 2 of Retro Rewind. We got some amazing guests today, but first, I think all of us have had all kinds of stuff going on. Miss Tracy, what have you been up to?
Oh man, I have been so hooked on Conan Exiles. Seriously,
Yes,
I can't stop playing that game. I'm supposed to be streaming other stuff, but lately I've been like, I'll stream a quick stream of this and then 2 hours of Halo, and we're gonna go play a Conan. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I've just been doing stuff on Twitch. Got some stuff going on in real life, but nothing that interesting. You know, just same old, same old.
Right on. Yeah, Conan, I'm going to say it all wrong. Conan Exile looks amazing. I have yet to play that game, but it looks very interesting the way you can make people become your thralls.
Yeah, we call it the friendship gym now. It's really called the Wheel of Pain. Yep. It's a really good game. People kept telling me, go play this game, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into PvP, and they're like, well, no, you don't have to do PvP. You can do a private server. And then once I found that out, oh man, now I'm hooked.
Yeah, you can get away from the riffraff that way. Yeah, absolutely. Jeff, what have you been up to, my friend?
I got me a new toy. Got me the Playmate.
Show it to us, sir.
Playmate handheld console right there.
Woo, look at that.
When you turn it on, you got your choice of English or Chinese.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at you.
It's got a nice speaker.
That does. Can you
400 games.
Nice.
400 built-in games.
Nice.
And it's got me a nice controller.
Ooh.
Wow.
Interesting.
A controller? Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, hey, I tell you what, some of those would probably work pretty good, man. You have to let us know what you think of it.
$15. I picked up a new drone at an auction, and unboxing and videos to come later. I need to get my drone. Got to get a drone license, and I don't have that. There's a whole bunch of other.
Wait a minute.
You need a license?
Explain this. Is this a Canadian thing?
It is not. You need a drone license in the U.S. too.
Huh.
Really? Or is it for certain altitudes or speed? Or just any drone? You got to go get a license.
You should have a license, yeah, because if you get caught,
you sure that's not for perverts that are trying to look into the windows?
I'm 100% sure. I've watched a lot of videos, and so there are strict regulations because you can't fly it over people, you can't fly it over airports, you can't fly it near. There's all sorts of rules in both of our countries. I'm sure Europe has the same regulations, so. We're just working through all of that to make sure you got the proper licensing and all of that. So yeah, if you guys go to your FTC or your FAA,
FAA,
yeah, go to FAA. It's got all the rules.
Filming weddings now with drones,
Yeah, getting pictures like that too.
Yeah,
which you can do, but then you need like an advanced license.
Are you serious? Come
to
on,
have it over people.
You're pulling our leg, man. I've seen all kinds of people.
You know what? We're gonna have to do that on another story.
Well, you're supposed to. Doesn't mean everybody does it. Is the point?
True.
Yeah.
Hey, that's true. That's like a
But you don't
what do you
know
call it? Your service dog. You can get a certificate and just carry your dog with you and say, it's my service dog or my emotional support animal.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Well, it can be your emotional support rabbit. It can be it can be virtually anything.
A lizard.
But yeah, how do you know those guys don't have licenses?
Hey, they might. Very true.
So put on any drone introduction to drone video, and they would talk all about it. So in the process of doing that, and so anyways, this they had all these. They were $15. So I'm like, you know what?
Wow, 400 games for $15, man. If you want to bust out some Mario real quick or something, I bet you that's fantastic. You have to let me know how it plays.
I bought two.
Rumor has it that you've been snooping in your mom and dad's attic and you found something.
Oh yeah, we got to see this.
You don't mind putting that on for us, please?
Oh yeah.
Here we
It's changing time.
Yes.
Hold on.
Nightmare-inducing warning.
Now I can't find the turn video back on.
Oh,
nice.
Whoa! Look at that.
I think you should get up and do the backpack dance. The backpack kid.
Oh god.
Uh,
Some flossing.
So,
Yeah.
Woo! All right, let's move on with the show. Let's bring in our first
Oh,
guest.
there's a show.
Oh, we got to find out what Ray's been doing. You're just skipping over Ray.
He don't care. He just doesn't care.
Hey,
Real
you
quick,
didn't invite me to the party last night. I'm sitting here all by myself.
Yes, he did.
Going, guess I'm not invited to the party. All right.
If you were watching the stream, we mentioned, why isn't Jeff in the party? He's not
I kept
accepting.
saying, how come he wasn't talking? My bad. Real quick, guys, what I've been up to, I want to give a huge shout out to CGD Lee. He did an awesome stream to raise money for Ukraine aid.
Yes.
He raised about $400. I spent pretty much the whole day just watching the stream. Actually won a t-shirt, Farming Simulator 22 t-shirt. And he actually played that game for 12 hours, folks. So just wanted to give him a huge shout out. He helping and giving aid to the wonderful, brave people of Ukraine. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, it's very important cause, and what a lovely man. Thank you, Lee.
You won a game too. You won.
I know. Well, Sierra did.
SPG. Okay, I'm sorry, Miss SPG, the wonderful Sierra Rose. She won a game. She won Farming Simulator 22. And
Absolutely.
Kevin.
Yeah, you wanted that game.
Yeah, I did. You know, when your wife jumped in, I was like, watch, she's going to win it. Oh, she won it. When Kevin jumped in, I was like,
hey, you might as well have been talking to Suave.
Yeah, exactly.
So what else you been up to, Ray?
And then just playing video games. Of course, we played Wreckfest last night. Had a great time. I actually played
Jeff wasn't there.
Yes, exactly. Played Transformers Battlegrounds. I was playing that actually earlier, and just relaxing, man. I got this nice hot cup of cocoa. I'm ready to bring these young superstars onto our show.
Absolutely. Jeff, why don't you bring them on out, sir?
Okay, our first guest, and this is in no particular order. I guess I'll go in alphabetical order. First one is Mayne Games.
Woo! How you doing, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, thanks for making the time to join us.
Does he have the best hair in the community?
Can I tell you
For
something?
sure.
Every time
I tell you,
I used to have dreadlocks.
Really?
I used to have dreadlocks, and when I
we got to see a picture.
I am completely heterosexual, but Mayne is a very attractive man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. My mother said the same when I was growing up. Thank you very much.
My mama told me the same thing too. I don't know. I think
Wait
she
a minute. Shenanigans.
Mine never did.
Oh man.
Well, that's why she got you that mask to put over your face.
Jeff.
That's what the mask was, man, to put over your face when she took you out in public.
Jeff's a beautiful man on the inside.
Makes sense, Ray. Thank God for Ray. He always keeps it real and explains the dumb stuff I don't know. And our second lovely guest, Windstar.
Hey everyone.
Windstar.
Hey, Windstar.
My man.
Lovely people in chat. Appreciate being on the show.
Absolutely, man. How are you doing today?
Doing quite well, just got some stuff done in the morning and went through my old retro games to see what I had in my garage. So I'll definitely want to share later.
I'm gonna let Jeff go ahead and jump off because I bet you he's got some interesting questions for you.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. And since you brought it up, what does retro mean to you?
For me first?
Sure.
Okay. So retro to me, I'm gonna go with like what hashtag media guy said on the first season 2, episode 1, where like if you can't buy it in the store, it's kind of like retro, because to me, I consider like the PlayStation Vita as retro, the PlayStation 3, and even like the Nintendo 3DS is going to that route as well.
Yep.
So that's what retro is to me.
What about the Wii?
The Wii, Wii definitely is retro, in my eyes.
Okay, so tell us a bit about your background then. How did you get into game? Tell us. Tell everyone knows about the Winye.
Well,
I don't know what we're calling it these days.
Everyone knows the Winye.
Winye.
But so I got into gaming. My older brother had like the Nintendo system and the Super Nintendo system. The games that he was primarily playing was RPG games. So I got into a lot of RPGs when I was younger. Like Final Fantasy 2, 3, Mystic Quest, Super Mario RPG was one that I watched them play, but I never got to enjoy it. So I really want to play Super Mario RPG. So hopefully it's one day down the line. Other than that, I moved on to the PlayStation. I pretty much played all the systems, the Genesis, what's it, Dreamcast, playing Sonic Adventure there.
Love the Dreamcast.
Yes, sir.
I love the Dreamcast too.
What was the first console that you purchased yourself?
It would be the PS3, the fat one. That would be my
Nice.
first one. Yeah,
Big boy.
That's my favorite.
But it was expensive,
One of
man.
Yeah, it was.
Hell yeah, it was.
Not for me.
What was it? $5.99 US?
Yeah,
It was expensive. Yeah. But the first one though would play all the old games with all the old discs, and or a lot of them, most of them anyway. And they also had a fantastic media server function built into the PS3
Mm-hmm.
that I used all the time, man.
They did.
I got mine for $45.
What? You got to tell us about that, man.
What truck you fall off of?
What truck?
Let me tell you, I have it for you. I'm telling you guys, you need to go visit your Salvation Army.
Okay.
The drip. Got to go to these five and dime yard sales and stuff. But I went into the Salvation Army because I used to just buy games and consoles in there, and so I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Are you serious? It is a PS3 Fat Boy, not Slim, Fat Boy."
Yeah.
With 2 controllers with all the cords. And I went up to the lady and I said, how much is this console? Frank.
There's always a Frank.
Well, how much is console? I don't know. 40 something. I was like, hey, I got 45. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Frank.
I get it.
I'll take it right now.
40.
Yo.
You know how that ended up there? Some mom was like,
I sitting right over here on the shelf next to the PS4 and the PS2.
That's incredible.
Nice.
Yeah,
some mom was probably like, if you don't clean your room, I'm gonna drop off your console at the Salvation Army.
Here's the thing: not a scratch. The Blu-ray, it worked perfect.
$45.
You got to go out there and look, man. There's a lot of people that have a lot.
That is true.
They just don't have no clue. Thank you, Frank.
Can you imagine, Ms. Tracy, how much stuff was lost to time because of that? Like, if you don't pick up your room, your comic books are getting thrown out, or all kinds of stuff missing.
I know some of my stuff personally was lost that way.
Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna do this right here. Hold on. You guys keep talking. Hold on.
All right. Windstar. Continue on if you want, man. And if not, we're gonna jump over to Mayne with the same question. But I have another question for you that I should have asked before the show, actually. But do you mind explaining to us your service record? Just let us know.
My service record?
Yeah,
okay.
Why you decided to serve and what kind of challenges or that you may have encountered doing that, because it's not an easy thing to go serve, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I just noticed my son drew penises.
Oh yeah.
My son, there's penises.
No, you know what? Those aren't
those are Among Us.
Those are Among Us guys. That's
I think
That's the same thing.
I think they're Smurfs.
For the show it is.
See, this is shit I got to deal with at home, dude.
Yeah, man.
But
my kids would do the same thing, except they put it in my Google shopping list. So one day I said, Google, what's on my shopping list? And it was, milk, and then it was like condoms, penises.
and
I can imagine your son drawing those penises and saying, "Suck it, Dad."
No. Nothing's worse than I had postage for my job, right? And my son on every piece of paper drew a penis. And one time my boss came to visit and he's like, "Ray, I need to take a note." I said, "Here you go, sir. There's a penis. Hold on. There's another penis." I was so embarrassed.
You're like, by the 4th page, I hit a meaty, veiny bastard.
Boss is very conservative, very strict, and I'm
that's the question. How detailed were these penises?
Right,
bro.
Yeah, was it like
There was long, there was short, there was hair on the ball. Like
he ran the gambit.
So he's been at it for a while. He's got talent.
Yeah.
Mine changed my Zoom name. Luckily, I caught it before I went into the plant meeting, but he changed my Zoom name.
In a meeting?
No, it was after.
Oh
my God.
That would be a bad day right there.
That would be a bad day.
So I did not know Windstar served, so I'm interested to hear this.
Okay, absolutely.
So I served in 2013 was when I enlisted. And I went to boot camp on January 2nd or 3rd. The reason why I joined was essentially, I was young at the time. I was working at Walmart and I wasn't doing too well in college. So me and my cousin and two of my best friends, we all decided to all go to a recruiting station, and we all joined together essentially. But we all did like the pre soldier like fitness thing, like where we would just meet up every couple months to work out with the future soldiers.
Yeah.
And then we all had different ship dates, so we went different ways. My job in the military was ammunition specialist, which is pretty much like transporting ammo, keeping accountability of all the rockets, small arms, and stuff like that. Um, so I served 2013 all the way up to last year, 2020.
Oh wow.
That's when I
Thank
got
you
out.
for your service.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
for your
Yeah, thank you,
service.
thank you.
Yeah, because what some people may not know is that a lot of people sacrifice a lot of things to enlist and to serve, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's what I was basically. I didn't get to that word, but that was basically my question. Was there
Okay.
any sacrifices? And Sierra also wanted to add to that and ask, what was the hardest part of boot camp that you thought?
Okay, so the hardest part of boot camp, I would say, was I was afraid of heights. So it
Ooh.
would probably be rappelling when we had to do our first rappel off the wall. So we had to
Yep.
do that.
Climb way up there and you harness up and
Yeah.
then come down.
Yeah.
fast.
So you start at the
exactly.
top and you come down.
Yeah.
hmm
Wow.
But I think during that time too, we were doing what we call like Victory Forge, where we would have to do obstacles first, and then we'll climb like the rope to go across, like a net. We have to like hold on to the rope and shimmy across while like laying forward. So that was like the hardest part of boot camp. Yeah, for me. And then sacrifices. I was away from family.
Yeah.
You're always away from family.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much alone, and you just got to befriend everybody. And the good thing was I was in Washington State, which is like 12 hours from home. So on 4 days, or like when I had time off, I would drive back to California. So it
Nice.
wasn't too bad. Yeah, I did get deployed as well in 2014 to
Where were you
Afghanistan.
deployed to?
Afghanistan.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh wow.
For 7 months, I was out there.
Right on. Now, was this during major action going on at the time, or I mean, there's always action going on out there.
Yeah.
I realize
Yeah.
that too. But
Yeah, there was action going around. I was in a FOB, which is a forward operating base.
so you're probably getting shelled a bunch, and the alarms going off, and
The alarms
Mhm.
going off. First day
Yeah.
was scariest when you land because all the emotions start building up. And,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on. You're at a
Yeah.
different country. You don't know
well,
what's
and
playing.
I imagine the adrenaline levels start rising
Yep.
too. And
It's
Yeah.
real now.
man. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every little siren and sound is you just
Yeah.
like, oh, are we supposed to like run to the bunker? Or what? But they're like,
Yeah,
"No,
because
just relax."
those little sounds can be life or death. I
Yep.
mean, very important, man. But thank you for your service, sir. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
And Mayne, where did it all start for you,
I
sir?
don't know how he's going to follow that, but
Well, yeah, I definitely can't top that in that regard. My man Winye, yeah, you win. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My journey was a little bit different. I started gaming when I probably was about 4 years old. My dad came home one day from getting some stuff from his college. He went to LSU, and he had some boxes and stuff like that. And he came home one day, and he said, "I got something for you." And I said, "Well, what is that?" And he pulls out an Atari 2600.
Ooh.
And that was my first console, well, for me. And I played Pong, I played Miss Pac-Man, all those games, right? Joust, I did all that stuff. And then I went from that and I moved over to Super Nintendo, so ActRaiser, Super Mario World. ActRaiser is a weird game that I didn't understand at the time, but I loved it. So
one of my favorites.
yes, it makes a really good game. Just confusing, being 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. You're like, what the hell is this? I'm just gonna go left and right, but that was that. But I enjoyed that, and then after that, I honestly started playing handhelds a lot, and got into the GBA, and pretty much went from GBA. I probably didn't get a console until about PS2. And then before that, I was kind of like, I had cousins. So if your cousins had a NES or a Sega Genesis, I would go over there and we would play it that way. And I would kind of like get interested in all these games and get excited about all that stuff. But I would say, honestly, after that, I would just handhelds up until I would say like a PS2. And then even then, I would say handhelds have always been that special kind of gaming setup or gaming way of gaming that I prefer, which is why I like the PSP. The PSP is probably my favorite. Yeah, the PSP Go is my favorite handheld of all time. I love the PSP Go. I would say that, and then after that, man, I had the GBA Micro, the SP. I had a lot of handhelds, and probably less and less consoles. But my first console that I bought was the 360. I worked at GameStop at the time in 2005, and I was spending some time there, and I heard about the Xbox 360, and I was like, I need this. I have a job. I can buy it. And so I went ahead and picked it up, and that was it, man. You should have seen me, man. Having that console coming home that day, having purchased my first 360, and I bought the Elite, by the way. So I felt even like, oh man, my chest was like damn near to Saturn. So like I got home and I'm sitting there. I even did like that proud dad kind of thing where you build something, you stand back, you just look at it, you be like, yeah, that's me. I put that together. Yeah, that's mine. I did that. Yeah, man. Yeah. You gonna play? Nah, just wait. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Just give me a minute. But yeah, so that's kind of how I started. And ever since then, I've just been gaming, and anywhere the games go, that's where I go. So that's pretty much my story. It's not as elaborate and inspiring as Windstar's, but that's pretty much where I started.
Well, Mayne, Anthony's got a question for you. He wants to know if you've ever had a Sega Nomad, and do you know what that is?
I do know what a Sega Nomad is. I did not have a Sega Nomad, but I did have for a brief period of time, I had the Game Gear. That guy. If you don't know about the Game Gear, 6 batteries, and you're gonna need more in about an hour.
Yep.
It's
It was atrocious. Yeah. It was atrocious.
It was, and it was oddly enough, it's crazy that it kind of resembles a Steam Deck. Now you look at back at it now.
Yeah.
It kind of resembles it in a way.
Yeah,
it was. It just, if they could get that energy consumption, just that energy, oh man, it would have been so good.
Yeah, and you brought up the PSP. I think that's my favorite handheld. Once you could get your custom firmware on it, and then get the little SD card that you could get up to 120 gig. You had movies, games.
I had all that going, man. I was literally like the guy that was hacking. Can we say that? I was the guy that was doing all kind of custom firmware for all my friends, and I should have charged, but back then I was just happy to be like, I know how to do it. But yeah, that system, that handheld was like really big to me. It's a really big deal to this day.
For like a solid. Now this is years after it came out. Is it during the Vita days when I got my PSP? But I used that thing for like 3 years. That was my Stadia before Stadia, because it was the screen I could take anywhere and have something immediate to play.
Yes, sir. And that was a big deal to me also because of how I grew up. I grew up, and my dad was a minister of music, so for a church, so we were always gone. Like I grew up pretty much in church, so being able to love video games, but you're also on the go. Handhelds were like a lifesaver to me, and so I don't have to worry about chords or anything like that. So I played Minish Cap till the wheels fell off. I played all the Pokemon games, even again PSP stuff, PS Vita stuff later on. But that was why I have this soft spot in my heart for handheld games, because during my childhood, that's all I had, and that was my way of gaming.
I was that kid in the back of the station wagon with like the big light on the Game Boy.
The worm light, the library light, bro. When your mom told you to go to bed, it's time for bed. You'd be like, all right, mom, good night. So covers, light.
So when I worked in the jewelry store, our jewelry store was like in Oakland, but I had to travel to San Francisco. Instead of driving my car, I would get on the subway. And I'm gonna tell you, that PSP with the headphones, man, you just oh my god,
I loved it, man. And the having one analog stick didn't really matter that much at first until like some of the other games they wanted to port to it. So like I remember the Ghost in the Shell game for PSP, and all the different ones. After a while, you started to be like, okay, well maybe like you moving with the analog stick and having to move with the buttons, like the camera with the buttons. After a while, you're like, all right, guys, where's time to start? Can we add another analog stick?
That was my daughter's graduation present. I gave her a Vita. I gave her the Vita.
Actually, do I have mine?
Yes, show and tell, please, Joe.
And I do the
Yes.
OLED. I do the OLED. I don't do.
Woo.
Nah, I gotta have the OG. Gotta have the OG.
Nah,
that.
is that
Yeah.
is that fully
That's the one I have.
customizable like the PSP was?
Oh
Or not
yeah. I
yet?
have
Oh, is
custom
it now?
firmware on it and everything. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh
See,
yeah.
I'm gonna
You
have to
can
get one now.
change boots and everything, so I can change my firmware to get on the PlayStation Network and all kind of stuff because they tried to lock you out, and I was
custom
like,
boot,
yeah,
like,
nah, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh
That's
yeah.
nice, man.
And I see a question from CROs. Do I have a handheld I consider the worst? You know what? I do actually have a handheld that I consider the worst. To me, the worst handheld that I think that just I tried it and it just never caught on for me. And this is going to be like a hot take. I didn't really like the feel and the execution of the DS Lite. Here's why. I think having been there when the first DS came out and how revolutionary it was, at that time, I was like, all this was to me was just a reskin. It was just a remodel. It did nothing else new. Like, of course, when the 3DS came out, then I was like, not the 3DS, but when they added the different the changes for the I forget what it's called, where you can change like the vision and the way. No, the 2DS. I'm sorry, the 2DS. I'm like, okay, it looks different. It looks weird, but I get how they're trying to change the way that the things are played. With the DS Lite, it was just like, I get the form factor, but it just didn't really click with me. I actually had it for about a month and I got rid of it and actually went back to the older DS, to be honest. It just didn't hit with me. It was a weird, I know it's weird, but it was one of those things that I just didn't really get into until later on.
I love the Game Boy, but I couldn't go to one of those, man, with the multiple screens. It just never talked to me or whatever.
Yeah, it was interesting, and I know that people probably hear me like, man, you didn't like the DS Lite. It was smoother, it was lighter, it had all. Yeah, it just, after having the OG DS and I played with it for a while and I had spent a lot of time on that, and then I was like, I got this just so it could be flatter.
I got something that's gonna look, the Nokia
N-Gage.
Oh,
okay, come on now.
I never had one of those, so I can't speak on that.
Do you have one?
I had a roommate that had it, and I'm like, bro, like, this is the I mean,
yeah, it tried to innovate, and for a while it kind of succeeded.
It was a phone and a handheld, right? It had a SIM card,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it looked like a quesadilla to me.
You could send horrible text back and forth.
Bro, I mean,
that thing was
garbage.
A hot mess, man.
Yeah, it
was. It was. What about you? Actually, if you don't mind me asking for a second, on Windstar, was there any handheld that you may have messed around with, or one you consider your favorite, or one you didn't really pay attention to or didn't really like?
So with handhelds, like, I started out with the original Game Boy, and then I kept moving up. But whenever I moved up, I always traded in the Game Boy because I didn't have any money and with games.
That's how it worked.
I know that's how it went.
Yeah. I got my heart broken, man. Battlefield 2 was my favorite game, man, to play competitively and to play through the main story. And Battlefield 3 was coming out. I traded in all my extra controllers, all of my games with Battlefield 2, and then I hated Battlefield 3.
Yep.
It was like a Call of Duty clone. Your feet just kicked over stuff, and it wasn't the same, man. I was hurt over that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think we all did trade-ins. I used to like GameStop. Regrets, like when I got home,
that's why I go digital now, because I can't trade them. It's a safeguard.
Yeah.
We do digital so we can game share.
I'm sorry.
Too.
There's just a little scratch on here. Yeah, that's gonna.
Oh, trust me. I used to tell people that quite a bit, and they used to be pissed. But I'd be like, "Hey, man,
that's a $3 resurface." And
but just to let you know, our machine's down, so you can't do anything right now. But just know this.
Oh my god!
I used to hate that, man. I hated that.
Mayne pulled it out.
Exactly, man. Trust me, I got some stories. But yeah, Windstar. So you said that it was just more like the Game Boy was just something that you
No, but well, my favorite was I traded everything up to like the DS when it came out to play Diamond and Pearl. So I traded in man, I had a regret with that because I traded in almost like 10 games.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they probably gave you like $30, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Peanuts. That's
I had a scramble to get it, but I enjoyed it just because it was, had internet connectivity and it was easy to play like Pokemon. just like locally without like a a cord and stuff.
Link cable.
Yeah, link cable. Yeah, so I enjoyed that one, but I said my favorite would be the Vita because man, when it came out, it seemed very revolutionary. With the graphics.
Yes, it did.
Playing like online with Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and all of that.
Ooh.
So I would say that was my favorite. And then they had Skype. It
did
early on, and I used to Skype
did.
people, and it was an awesome way to connect. Yeah, so I really like the Vita.
Yeah, it made me want it, but I had the PSP at the time, and I was like, ooh. Well, when I can mod that one, I'm gonna upgrade, and now I know I can, so I'm gonna have to look at.
Oh yeah, we could talk a little bit later, and we can work some stuff.
I love that tech man. I just love it.
Man.
Hey, for both of you guys, real quick, what is your favorite game? I mean, it doesn't have to be new or anything like that. It could definitely be retro, but
it's a tough question.
Yeah, it is. It is a tough one, man. What's one of your guys' favorite games? Because I have a few favorite games.
Yeah,
sure.
I would have to say that I have. It's hard to pick because also they change too. So sometimes they swapped around. I don't know. Yeah, you got some?
Yeah, my list is always changing, man.
Yeah,
always.
I could go first. I guess one of my favorite games would be Warcraft 3, real-time strategy game.
Yeah.
I really love that game, and I used to play all the time. And then once I was like pretty much done with Warcraft 3, I moved on to World of Warcraft. So that game took up most of my childhood as well.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that game can swallow you whole.
Yeah.
I've actually never played it just because I've been so afraid just change my life because of the game.
Yeah. I've heard that from all kinds of people.
I know I have friends they got married. That's how they met.
Oh, it's through World of Warcraft.
Wow.
Yeah. I met a few online friends. Yeah, it's crazy what like an MMO could do essentially.
Yeah. My online friends are my best friends, honestly.
Yeah. Some of my best friends have been through online as well. So I can attest to that. Absolutely. I think it's because of the you have that commonality. You have something in common, and it's you meet, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, you like this game? Yeah. You like this game? I do. You like this? I do.
There's so much common. There's so much common ground. Yeah. That's like every like I was telling Cowboy a long time ago that like every single conversation with a Stadia player I start talking to, within 20 minutes it goes to retro. Like, I mean, it always does. It always did.
Yeah.
And Sierra's got a question for you guys. Now she'd like to know what your least favorite game is.
Okay, so favorite and then least. Okay. As far as favorite game, oh man, it's kind of difficult for me. I would have to actually. Can I change it to favorite franchise?
Yeah.
Can I change that? Okay,
Absolutely.
I would say my favorite franchise, and this is tough because I have 3. But today I feel like it is. See how I did that there? Today I feel like it is Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, nice.
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid, Mass Effect, and Final Fantasy. Those are the ones. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid. I love Kojima, and I'm just like, Metal Gear Solid.
Those are all solid choices.
Yeah,
Absolutely, awesome choices.
Final Fantasy was one of the first games that I was like engrossed in the story.
Yep.
Like fully, like waiting to see what happened to characters and how certain threads resolved themselves and stuff.
And I like to tell people that that for those who may not be into Final Fantasy because of what they've seen, and I've told Windstar this too. I think it's because you haven't played them yet. I think there's a Final Fantasy for everybody. You just have to find which one speaks to you because they're all different. So there's So there's a game for everybody. You just have to search for them. Yeah.
Like over in Japan or whatever, it's called something else. It's not Final Fantasy 3, but Final Fantasy 3 in the United States, where you start on those little mechs. That's one of my favorites, but it's vastly different than 7.
I think the first one was that on PlayStation 1. I think that's the first one I played.
Yeah, right here.
Really? What's that?
Oh,
yeah, technology.
Yeah.
How much?
That's 4 and 5,
and that's the black label, y'all. The black.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There we go.
The black label.
Right.
Nice.
Sweet.
That was
PlayStation 1.
That was the very first game I ever spent more than an hour fighting the end villain, the end boss. It was a long fight. I didn't know. I mean, I know there's tricks and you can speed it up a little bit, but I didn't know any of that at the time. So I just keep calling my beasts, and it was just like it was a forever ending fight, man.
Yeah, man.
That's a good question. What's the first game you guys ever beat?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mine was Ocarina of Time.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
good.
I love the Zelda games. We're gonna discuss those after a bit. I think.
Vanaxdu, Nintendo, Vanaxdu.
Yep,
Something.
Finaxidue.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, Vanaxdu. Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh.
I think that the first game that I beat had to have been Final Fantasy 9 that I really like went through and
That's a
completed.
long one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that would be my first game that I really like that I can remember that I completed. Everything else, when I was much younger, I was out playing outside, so it was just like I would play some games and I would just kind of like go out and run and do other things. But 9 was the game that I was just like, no, not right now. Like I was just like really
Well, you gotta-
enthralled in it. Yeah,
You got to keep in mind too that back in the day, there wasn't SD cards and everything,
Correct.
and you couldn't. I mean, you hit the power button, it's over till
Yep.
the next time you
and
turn
I didn't
it
have a
on.
memory card for a while, so it was a lot of pause. And my mom was like, "You can run up my damn light bill."
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yep.
so yeah. That's why I was like, okay, I have to beat this, mom, because I don't want to hear it anymore. So
I never
yeah.
beat a game that you couldn't save because my parents did not understand the
Yeah.
whole. I gotta leave it
Yeah,
on. I gotta leave it on.
pause.
Please.
Yeah.
Your mom come in the room and she's vacuuming and she's like, why the hell is this still on?
Like generating heat,
No!
the heater.
Yeah.
You just ruined 40 hours
Right.
of
That damn
jumping.
thing it was smoking. It was hot as hell in there. I went in and turned it off. The light was the TV was hot. And I was like,
Struggle was real,
no.
folks. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
what about you?
I think my first game was Ocarina of Time as well. The Zelda, yeah. That game was, man, that's an amazing game, and it's very
That's one of my
long.
favorites.
Yeah, it is. I love the music in that game. I know Mayne
Mhm.
hasn't played it
I got
yet.
all the songs in my head.
Yeah, okay,
It's
so
one
why
of
you gotta
those-
put me out on blast like that? Okay, so let me just go ahead and get in front of it. So because the last game I played, we got to talk after this. The last Zelda game that I played was, I would say the first one I would say that I really went through was Minish Cap on GBA, or Game Boy Color. No, it was I think Game Boy Color, and then or GBA. I can't, my mind. But after that, I went a stretch. The next Zelda game that I really played after that was Breath of the Wild. So I missed an entire catalog. I missed Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I missed all.
Did you
of
get a
those.
Link to the Past though?
It's never.
I
too
did.
Late.
I did a Link to the Past. Yeah, and,
Okay.
it
Always
is.
go
It isn't
back.
too late.
You can
I
always
can go back.
and play.
I'm actually looking forward to man, Windstar. We got to talk. I'm looking forward to playing Wind Waker.
Oh, yeah.
I love the style of it, and having played it, as Toon Link a couple of times in like Smash Brothers and things like that. I was drawn to how different Toon Link looked in addition to everybody else. So, and the cell shading and everything like that was something that really caught my attention. So at some point, I definitely want to go back and play Wind Waker.
Yeah, I like the art direction of all those games, and I
Yeah.
really like the way they went with Breath of the Wild, making it open world like that.
Yeah.
And just amazing, amazing looking.
I have a
I-
question to
yeah.
ask them. I got a question to ask them. What do you guys think about these remasters and these remakes? You like it? You don't like it? I got friends that love it, and I got friends that hate it. How do you guys feel about it?
I have something right next to me that I'm going to show that's going to tell you exactly how I feel about it.
Well, let's get you full screen,
okay.
bro.
We got
okay.
you up screen.
So there's one RPG in particular that is my hands down favorite RPG of all time, and they actually on the 7th, this game is being, I guess it's been remastered, and it's this game right here. You can come on,
Oh, yeah, Chrono
autofocus.
Cross.
That is okay. My camera's going crazy, but Chrono Cross is hands down my favorite RPG of all time.
Right.
And you should have seen the look on my face. I was actually out taking my daughter to the park when the announcement was made,
Mhm.
and it was an echo because I screamed and I didn't care. I didn't give a damn what my daughter thought. She's 2. I didn't care about what other parents thought. Chrono Cross was being remastered, and I couldn't. I couldn't contain myself.
Look at that. Look at that.
gotta do.
Black Label too.
Yeah.
Black
Man, we
label,
gotta
folks.
talk, dog. Let's
Black
talk.
label.
Can we just swap the papers in here? Let's
I
just
know,
swap
right?
the papers. That's all I want to do. Just swap the papers.
That's all you need, right?
That I love remasters and remakes. I think that it's a great way to. I mean, let's talk about Final Fantasy 7 for a second. I never played 7. And growing up, I got into 9. I didn't understand the hype behind 7. It could have been the visual presentation, could have been other things. I don't know, right? But when remake came out, I played it and I was like, this game is incredible. And the whole thing is, yes, it's a lot different from the original 7, but I think that when these remakes and remasters happen, it not only gives people who are new to the scene or new to these games, who may not have thought about them, may not have played them or tried them, gives them a chance to check out these games in a much cleaner and fine-tuned way, another approach. But it also gives the people who are veterans of the game, who who are favorite, they love these games and they've played them many, many times, get a chance to revisit them in a much more updated and much more fonder way. So I think that it's very much a great thing that remakes and remasters happen, and I'm looking forward to hopefully Final Fantasy 13. If you guys play, please, that would be great. But yeah, I think that would be great. Games like Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition. There's a lot out there that people can come back to and check out, and and I think that it's great. It's great for gaming, and I think that it's just awesome to be able to provide that to other people.
I agree.
It's an awesome answer, Mayne.
That is awesome.
What do you think, Windstar?
I think remakes and remasters are great because I like going back and seeing a different side of the story sometimes, like even if they remake it, because we already have the original where we could like love and enjoy at all times, but
it doesn't
seeing
take nothing away from that.
Yeah, it doesn't take anything away from that. So seeing a different like alternative or like better graphics and engine, I definitely like, I enjoy it a lot. Like Resident Evil 2, for example, the gameplay, it's like way different, but it looks like really fun and the story changed, but you can always go back and enjoy both stories, I would say.
Yeah. One of my favorite games is a remake, the original Resident Evil remake on the GameCube.
Yeah.
The game. Yeah.
That thing was fire, man.
Yeah.
And it really, really blew you away. The angles and how close the characters could get to the screen and how well their models looked.
Mhm.
It was fantastic. The only thing I'd say about that question, Ray, is the bankruptcy of storytelling. Like the more remakes and the more regurgitations we get,
is true.
It waters that. It waters down some of those storylines that are redone and retold. But definitely though, a lot of those remakes it does let it get into new hands and experience the game in a newer fashion, so they're not turned off right away.
Too, like for someone like me who has memory issues, it's kind of nice because it's like almost like playing a new game again, even if you have played it. So
yeah, it also gives them a chance to sometimes the bugs follow the damn game and even the remake. But sometimes they do a good job of squashing the stuff that you had before. Unlike Skyrim, I think that game has got like every bug like from release to release to release.
They just said, you know what? Just port the damn thing. Put on a toaster. Just do it. Whatever. Just do
it. If you guys PS5 Final Fantasy 7, oh my god! I just sometimes I mean, and I love taking the pictures.
That's all I did.
It's like, wow, they really. I mean, there's some that are, but there's some that's like, oh my god, they really did justice for the game. So yeah.
I follow a lot of gaming Instagrams and I see a lot of pictures from that.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get into the pictures that Windstar took.
I'll take those pictures.
You know I had to shoot you back. You
shots fired.
Hey, I have to say,
Will, you need to separate.
No, we good. He knows all love.
Say, Mayne, be careful. He is a brave man. He'll do karaoke on stream. Just
listen. We went back and forth with that. We had a karaoke battle, and I conceded. I said I was no match. I couldn't do it. I was no match. Actually, I realized that we missed a question. I think Sierra's also asked. We never answered what our least favorite game was. I don't think we ever did that. But to tie back to that, of course, to make sure that I answer that question. I think for me, my least favorite game that I've ever played was I think one of the Suikoden games. I forget which one it was, but when I tried it, I wasn't there. I believe that a lot of people, some of the games or some of the content we consume, sometimes we're not aligned with it. So oftentimes, if we come back later, maybe it may be ready for it or whatnot. But at that time, as soon as I booted it up and I saw the gameplay and how the combat was and everything, I was like, oh, this is not for me.
Not for me.
And I immediately was like, done. Boom. My friend had let me borrow it, and I was just like, oh yeah, this isn't it.
Now, to build on that, Mayne, is there a game that you did that with, experienced either younger or whatever, and then you grew to like it because you understood it later? Like I have a few games like that where I couldn't like Blaster Master is an
Yeah.
example. I always give it. I didn't know you could get out of the damn vehicle at first. Didn't know you could power it up, and
Yeah.
I
would say that for me, the game that kind of did that, and it was actually a later game. It was actually in the 360 era. It was what was it? It was Blue Dragon. It was different because I'm a big fan of like Mistwalker, and my favorite RPG on the 360 was Lost Odyssey, and it was from the same people. But because I had grown accustomed to other games and other styles of RPGs, coming back to that kind of style, it made me feel like there was something that I was missing, and I had kind of like left, and I kind of like left it alone. And when I came back later, I was like, I have a deeper appreciation for this game, and I enjoyed everything that they were trying to do with it. So I would say that to my knowledge, most recent one will have to be Blue Dragon.
That's awesome, man.
Have you ever called a company and wanted to cuss them out?
No, but I've done that with 1-800 for my Xbox when I had random rig death issues. I did do
I
that.
lost 5, and it wasn't until I got my elite I never had a ring of death.
Really? That Jasper chip changed the game.
I went through 5 of those things. But real quick, it was a game called Showdowns: Legends of Wrestling by Acclaim.
I'm familiar.
Okay, when I was like, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Eddie Guerrero, all the legends of wrestling, I can fight. And when I got they had a group called Quiet Riot that played the theme song. Bang your head. And I was just pumped. And when I got the game and I played it, it was the most buggy. like there's bugs and then there's bugs. I got on the phone. I called Acclaim. I'm like, what the hell? And I asked her, how could you guys put this game out? I mean, it was
veins popping out of your neck, going Vince McMahon, all on the phone.
Horrible. There's a guy. It's called 616 Entertainment. Watch his video on Showdowns of Legends, and you can see the frustration a lot of people had. But whoa,
wow! Did you ever come back to it, or you just you left it alone?
I came back to it.
Wow,
because because it was the first game that had all the legends, together, and then they actually made a 2 and a 3, but this particular one, I mean, you throw somebody into the ring, they would disappear. You would punch somebody, and they would somehow float over the ring. I mean, it was just.
Is that the one where they have like their arm noodling over their left shoulder, and that stuff's terrifying.
Just ridiculous.
Giving you the old noodle elbow and shit.
Yeah, it was really sad. And yeah, I did call. I sent emails. I was in chat rooms talking with other guys, and we were like, let's sign a I mean, we were really, I mean, you got to understand, wrestling back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Now it's much better now. I haven't been back to it in probably a year or more. I need to get back into it, but Ms. Tracy, do you remember Fallout 76 when it first came out, and all the bugs and people would lose their mind?
Didn't lose my mind. I actually loved it.
I enjoyed the loop, the grind or whatever. The play loop. Yeah.
It definitely got better. It definitely got better once they added the NPCs, because that was like the best part of Fallout was the story, and then you did the story where you're just chasing around a person who doesn't exist, and then finally they added the NPCs, and the game is just so much better.
Yeah. So any bug they had in Fallout 4 like transferred over to 76 plus new bugs.
Still there.
Yeah,
still there.
She said, "Don't get excited."
The video is the guy returning Fallout 76 at GameStop. If you guys
that was hilarious.
Watch that video.
The dude goes in and he's like, "I want a refund." They're like, "No, sir, that's open. You can't do that like that." And he smacks the display off, and he's mad. Yeah, look that up.
I got a picture I'm going to share to our little Twitter group that is a stack of about this tall of PlayStation 3 Fallout 76s that I bought for 3 cents a piece
Wow.
at Walmart.
Wow,
I
3
gave them all
cents?
away.
Brand,
Yeah, three
brand new ones in the package, huh?
They were like,
Wow.
get
Brand
this shit out
new.
of here. Get it, go,
Yeah,
take it,
yeah.
get out of here,
Yep.
move, get out,
They
go.
wanted it gone.
Take
I
it,
We
mean-
bought
take
them
it.
all.
I mean, my power suit, I was halfway in my seat.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
other body was halfway out. I mean,
Or
she-
you'd have the top suit, and then your legs would look like real weird. Like,
Hey Tracy, quick question. Did you happen to get those games from a guy named Frank?
Nope.
Just
They were just
something
on
that
the
just
shelf.
it was on discount.
Probably sitting there forever
Hey,
too.
I would buy those sealed and don't open up.
I gave them
Mm.
all away. I gave them all away.
She said I didn't want them either.
Well, no, I mean,
bought them to
because
give
I
it away.
played a lot of 76, and
Well,
we did
they-
lots of community. Like we did Fallout for Hope, which raised money for St. Jude, and
Oh, cool.
we
Yeah,
we
it's
do a lot of stuff
fantastic.
with 76. I'm kind of
She's
over the
amazing.
game now, but I still stay a part of it because the community is just amazing. It really is. a
Yeah.
great community.
I
Okay.
played it for so long, not just because I like the gameplay loop, but I paid $80 for that damn game right off the bat, and then like within a week it was $30, and I was like, oh, I'm getting my
Yeah.
money's worth.
I
I'm
got
forcing
mine with
myself
my
to play this.
I got mine with my Blue
I like
Yeti
that.
microphone. They were bundling. I said, "Oh, this is bad. This is bad." When they bundled
They
the game with the
bundled it
Blue,
with a
yeah, it
microphone?
was a
Yep.
Blue Yeti microphone. They were
What?
like,
They're like,
"Hey,
buy
man,
the
just take the game."
microphone and
Yep.
you get the game for free.
That's
Oh,
exactly
my
what it was. And I was like,
Damn.
all right. And I
Damn.
had it. But I've always, which is another question I want to ask you guys. I want to switch the tables and ask you guys a question. Are you
Absolutely.
more of because it's 2 camps, right? Are you Team Elder Scrolls or Team Fallout?
Oh, you can't. You can't do
Oh,
that to me.
That's hard, man.
Mm.
I mean, look, it depends on what Elder Scrolls you're talking about. If you're talking about like the
Okay.
MMO, I don't
Okay.
care. If you're talking
Okay.
about Oblivion, Morrowind, oh, I'm on board. I'm on board big time. They water it down in the MMO just too much for me. And
Okay.
Skyrim, going back to that game, I don't think that game would be as well received today. It's a lot of awesome exploration, but without you deep diving into the catacomb you're in and figuring out what went down, you got no story. None.
That's true. That's
plead
true.
The fifth, Your Honor.
No.
I plead the fifth.
Give us a hot take, Ray.
Come on, man. Come on.
You can't do that, man.
Why
No.
I
not?
can't do that. I can't. I
can't do that.
I love both. I can't do that.
Okay.
Can't
Okay.
do it.
This is
Plead
our
the fifth.
show. We ask the question.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Windstar, what's your least favorite game? I think we
Yes,
missed that.
yes.
Yeah, Windstar, what was your least favorite game?
I don't know what my least favorite game is, but the game that I'm like most disappointed in recently would be Warcraft 3 Reforged, because I loved Warcraft 3 and I was hoping that they would like, give it justice and actually like build up upon it. But like the game has been released for 2 years. It hasn't been updated. There's no profile, there's no ladder. So it's kind of like you're playing the game, but you can't see your stats or anything, and it's still buggy.
Oh, wow.
And it's been so long. And that was one of my favorite franchise, and I can't even enjoy it. I tried playing recently, and I couldn't even start the game. So I don't know what's going on with it.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, Windstar, do you have a game that you didn't respect and then you grew to like, or anything from your past? I played so many games as a kid. I didn't understand any of them till, but I was still playing those same damn games 4 or 5 years later.
Absolutely.
I can't really say, to be honest. I just, I enjoy a lot of different types of games and games in general, so I can't like pick one essentially. Yeah.
I totally agree with Doc on that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pick a least favorite game, but I can tell you that my least favorite thing to do in games is driving cars. So basically any game where that's focused, no offense. I know everybody loves GTA. I can't do it. I can't drive for shit.
I
It's
get it.
terrible.
Yeah,
You want to piss off your children, play GTA, but then follow the traffic laws.
Yes.
Stop at the
Dude.
light and
That's
ask your
fun to do
son, ask your
sometimes.
teenage son, how do you put the blinker on? Which button puts the
Man.
blinker on?
Just
My son
blinker.
will yank the
Fluid.
controller out. I sit there and I slow down for the play. It's like Free Guy, slow down.
He's like,
slow
Dad,
down."
Dad, there's no blinker. Get out and shoot that cop.
my wife is terrified because mom, come here. I want to show you. Show me what, Evan? Show me what? The perfect drive-by The
Oh
perfect
my
drive
God.
pod.
Perfect drive.
And you know what's funny
Wow.
is I actually did what you just said, Jeff. I let my 10-year-old play the older the remastered version, and I said, "Hey, son, come and drive this car really quick in the game." And he literally, again, he plays Fortnite, plays all the other games. He literally sits down, starts driving, pauses the game, and turns to me and says, "What is this?" And I was like, what do you mean? Drive. He was like, I this is impossible. I said, what do you mean it's impossible? He's like, I can't do this. He just got up and left. And I was like, wow. So
Dude,
I totally
Wow.
understand, man. They man, it's different. We had no choice. That's what they gave us. We wanted to play the game, we figured it out.
don't
Say
get your
something-
kids the fractured butthole, South Park fractured butthole.
Hey,
No.
that's an
My
awesome
wife
game.
chewed
Yeah.
me
Awesome
out.
title.
With the,
For your
yeah,
kids.
the snowballs.
Fractured
For your
butthole.
kids. You
Oh,
know,
fractured butthole. Never mind.
The
For
Stick
your
of Truth
kids.
was the first one, and that
Yes.
was raunchy too.
yeah.
I liked both of those games, man. They did a really good job
my
on the
wife,
South Park
Oh,
games.
man.
They're
my wife
hilarious.
chewed
They
me
are.
out.
Oh, I bet, man. There's a lot of not innuendo jokes. They're just
Oh,
jokes.
man.
Right in your face.
Yeah.
In your face jokes.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Just going back to your remastered, what's good about it is the younger kids will play them, like your son, Mayne,
Yeah.
right? And when they look and you know, I'm in a lot of retro stores, I'm in a lot of retro stuff, and the guys will go, "Oh, this game just doesn't hold up." It's not supposed to. It's a
No.
PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And we talk about this. And I'm always educating them. Like, you can't look at it with today's glasses. You have to
Correct.
remember what it was like before you were born, kid.
Absolutely.
But they can't.
Absolutely.
So the remaster, at least it gets them to play these older games. Right. Whereas
Well-
they
No.
won't play them because they just don't understand the graphics and it's just horrible. They're
Right.
like, oh my God.
Mark-
That's all. Right.
Mark
So-
has a great shout out. He said, "Don't forget the South Park 64 game,"
Oh,
and it was
That's the only
Oh
one
my
I played.
God.
I love
It was
that game.
kinda-
Wow.
it was kind of designed around the
Good call,
GoldenEye
Mark.
type
Good
feel,
call,
you
Mark.
know. And
Yeah.
you could
person.
snowball fight, and you could even make the snowball
Wow.
turn yellow.
Yeah.
And they had
No
these
snowballs.
They had these damn turkeys running around that game. I still hear them in my sleep, man. I still hear those damn turkeys.
With their
So I
calico,
have
with the-
Go ahead.
teenagers, and when we started them on gaming, we started them the way we started. Like, we started back on NES, so that's what
Oh,
they
good.
started with, and then they went up to the N64, and like they graduated through the games so that they didn't start being spoiled with all these
Yeah.
graphics and stuff, and they could really enjoy the games the way
That's
we
actually
did.
pretty cool. My my 13-year-old, he actually for a while he surprised me too one day. Some years back, he saw me playing Mega Man 2,
Mm.
and he
Nice.
actually picked up the controller and started playing it. Actually got really, really good at it. And I was asking him questions and things like that. Even recently, I said, "Hey, remember when you used to play Mega Man 2?" He said, "Actually, Dad, I played it a couple days ago." And I was like, "Really?" So
Wow.
he is for me. It made me smile that appreciation, like we just talked about, was for him at least, not my 10-year-old. He drove a car in GTA and was like, "This is trash." But my older son was like, "Yeah, no, I definitely play those games all the time. I play the platformers, all the games that I used to watch me play growing up, or things like that." He has that deep appreciation, so he doesn't look at games through the lens of somebody who's new to it and has to have all these different features and everything. He looks at it and says, "Oh,
See,
okay,
so
it
spoiled.
I can play this game. It's really fun." And he really looks at it at a base level, and I appreciate that. And it's really, really cool to watch him go back and play like some older games to him and enjoy him. Like, this game is fun. People didn't like this game. And I said, yeah, for a time, no, they didn't, or
If he
whatever the
liked-
case may be.
If he likes Mega
Yeah.
Man, have him check out Mega Man X. Those
Yeah, Mega Man
titles
X
are
is the
really
best.
good too.
Yes,
I love those on
yeah.
the Super Nintendo. I
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah, he played those too. So he's very much so into those kinds of games. Like I said, my 10-year-old, he's like, "Yeah, nah, I'm not him, sorry." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, all right, man. Well, as you were."
Yeah.
But yeah, my older son, he has that appreciation, which is pretty cool.
Sonic Mania. That's a callback.
That's a great Sonic Mania was a great game because the person who actually made the music for it was petitioning. Sorry, I have tons of these, but the guy who made the music for it was petitioning to do work on the game because he heard about all the different things they were doing, and they actually ended up hiring him, and he made the entire soundtrack for the game. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
pretty cool that all worked
Cool.
out. Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Favorite video game theme music.
Oh, that's easy for me. I've already said this once, but it was on 3DO, and it was some crazy shitty fighting game, but it had the soundtrack to White Zombie.
Oh,
Uh,
Borderlands has some
more
pretty good
human.
songs too. I got a copyright on one of them when I was streaming
Uh-oh.
the first. Yeah,
Really?
my stream
Wow.
Borderlands 3, the intro song. Whoops, that was my first copyright strike.
Wow.
Kevin, if you're in the chat, let me know what that fighting game was. One of the guys had a kilt, and he'd raise his kilt, and a fireball would come out from underneath his kilt.
What?
Yeah, I ain't bullshitting.
I gotta see that.
What
It's
game
Like that was in your
old fighting
dreams.
game.
What
Right.
game was that?
Continue to talk. I'll find it.
Yeah.
I would say mine was Final Fantasy X to Xanarkin, the piano. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I love that. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
had a whole burn CD of the Final Fantasy music.
Oh man.
Burn CDs. Where is that?
Hey,
Way of
man.
the Warrior. It was called Way of the Warrior.
Way of the Warrior.
Shark
fell over
Thank
it.
you. Thank you,
That's
Kevin. I
interesting.
knew you'd know what that was called. But the soundtrack was fantastic. Let me bring this up real quick. I'll show you. It's going to look weird.
Theme, I would have to say, of course, the opening theme of Chrono Cross. That's always going to be like one of my all-time favorites. If not that song, then I like a close second will be the actual opening theme of the starting screen of Final Fantasy 13. I think for that, it sticks with me because it was during a time I had just got married. I had another kid on the way, and so it was just a very happy and joyous time for me. So that game, 13 itself, and the theme reminds me of that. It takes me back to that moment every time I hear it. So that's always probably going to be a close second. But as far as my go-to, it's going to be probably the theme for Chrono Cross. Yeah,
Nice.
Mine split up. Like I loved all of the fun songs
There we
in
go.
Ocarina of Time, but Final Fantasy music is some of the best
it's
gaming music.
Nobuo Uematsu. Come on,
Yeah.
Nobuo,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
goat.
Yeah, so check this out. I don't know if it's going to show the kilt.
Look at this.
I'm
What
hoping
the
so.
hell is it?
What?
This
Yeah.
is
Of the warrior.
insane.
It's like a bootleg Mortal Kombat.
Who's that?
It
Sandman?
is.
Is that ECW Sandman? Who is that?
It does look
Oh,
like
wow.
Sandman. a discount version.
You
Right.
can't even tell who's hitting who.
Or Hillbilly
I
Jim
know.
or something.
The collision
3DO,
detection.
folks. 3DO.
Oh
of the-
man.
One of the first disc-based game systems. Now, when this system came out, it was like $500, $600, man. It was outrageous. And it was much like the
Ridiculous.
Sega CD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really wasn't much better than that. And anyway, make a long story short, I picked it up for $100 when they were trying to get rid of their last of their stock. But I had fun playing it, though, for a while.
Yeah.
It was cheaper than a PlayStation at the time.
That's Santa.
Shaky Jake.
It looks-
You know
it
what?
looks like Santa.
Probably. To be honest, this does also remind me.
No,
of
that is not
Shaq Fu.
Santa.
Yes.
It reminds me of Shaq Fu a little
What?
bit too.
Yeah, matter of fact, I got something else to show you guys, man.
King right there.
They took Street Fighter 2 for the Super NES and they tried to cram it into an NES title, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second.
I
It's a
bet
real
that is
game.
Insane.
It does.
Is,
But
that,
anyway,
is that shirtless guy Anthony?
Right.
He's a discount Liu Kang, I'm pretty
Right.
sure.
Yeah, he's shooting fireballs and everything.
Here
Look at
comes
this guy.
There's the soldier.
Right. That's his name, the soldier.
Well,
Look at David
Gaines.
says Gaines.
yeah, it's before
Jax.
what's his name? The country singer took that name.
Dude, I want to see
He's
the
standing
lip
like
skirt.
Jax.
There goes
Wow,
Tonya
they-
Slade.
Boy, they straight bit off Mortal Kombat.
Not Sonya
man.
Blade.
I know,
just
that's like
Tanya Slade.
reptile stage right there.
Yeah, and look at that. There's the bridge.
The Family Value brand
Look,
of Mortal Kombat.
Nobunaga.
Yeah, great value brand. You're right.
He wait.
He
you
fell
telling
into
me
the ground.
He fell exactly into the coffin. They
Wow.
made sure they made.
Wow.
See, what happened is he just fell through the screen and they put the hole in there black so you couldn't see him as he passed through it.
Now we laugh, but man, these were games like
then, that
in
was
the
it.
90s.
This is top of the line.
It was
top of the line, dude.
You couldn't get this resolution or this frames and stuff from
No.
anything except CD-based systems at the
Yep.
time. Not that they were well made
That's
and the games were great, but
Raiden, man, poor man Raiden.
Yeah.
Ooh, he got a nice moveset. I actually like that. Oh, the principal.
yeah, he's the
No,
fox.
The principal.
no, that's your Anthony right there.
Man, I can't believe we didn't get to the kilt guy, man. I wanted to show him.
Oh,
throw
shit,
a
I'm
they
saying
got
that
a
that
ninja.
doesn't exist. No.
Right.
Ninja.
They're trying to make you look bad.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Oh, that
never
guy's
made
pretty
it-
cool.
Mountain Boy.
I never made it to that guy. Apparently, I wasn't good at this
Oh
game.
my goodness.
That's Shao Kahn skeleton.
That's amazing. All right, let me.
He's drinking booze and spitting fire. That is awesome.
How does that even work? It should be
All
cutting
right.
his ribs right now.
So all right, guys. I want your opinion on this, and we'll go back to our screens to discuss. But here's the Street Fighter 2 we all know and love. Okay. So here's the Street Fighter 2 we all know and love.
Oh yeah.
This for the
Big
Super
Street Fighter
Nintendo. It was in the arcade.
Yeah.
Here is the Street Fighter NES game.
Wow.
That's so tight.
Now it's a bootleg, so it was never truly released.
Wow.
But they tried to fit it all in and make it work on the NES. So
It reminds me of that TMNT game.
Yes.
Very much so.
The tournament. Oh, you mean the OG or the tournament fighters?
The OG.
Okay,
I still play this, man. I'd play this on my NES.
I'm a big Street Fighter guy. I was just playing Street Fighter the other day. I would definitely play this game.
So you could play this on Game Boy, like
absolutely,
and have it portable, man. That'd be really cool. So it looks just it's like even the title screen. It's all discount. You only get 4 characters.
Look at that.
You only get 4 colors too. It looks like.
What happened?
They still have the sound, so you still hear Japan.
Oh yeah. Hey, they did a good job on Zangief.
Yeah, they did what they could for sure to try to make it fit, but I thought that was was just remarkable, man. And now I got something else to blow your guys' mind real quick.
I'm ready.
Have you so here in the United States we had the NES, and overseas that wasn't the same. So like we had Nintendo. Some people never experienced Nintendo. They got Nintendo games, but they weren't labeled as Nintendo. So have you ever heard of the Endman Terminator 2 console? That's a freaking game. That's a game machine that was sold in Poland, Russia, Ukraine, as a matter of fact, a whole bunch of places. But
really,
this blew my mind. This is what some people, this is what their retro history looks like.
Of course, no doubt. Oh wow,
comes with a gun too.
Looks like a Sega.
It does look. It does look like a Sega. It's actually a Famicom clone.
Yeah.
But it comes with a big zapper. You got what looks like a Sega here.
Wow.
Sega controller. Yeah, and the cartridges are weird.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Street Fighter.
So
that's really cool.
So you're talking Bulgaria, Ukraine, Russia. That's what they played on. They didn't have Nintendo. So some of them will say, "Hey, I played on a black console and I played this game and that game," and you'll go, "Oh, the Sega." No,
that's not it.
Looks like a Sega shell, kind of.
And that's the cool thing I like about gaming too, is that we oftentimes are so stuck in our own individual gaming worlds, and there's like different facets and subsets. And just like I didn't know about this console, and so probably somebody overseas, whether of course they knew about it or not, they probably aren't aware of the Sega's Genesis either. So it's like all these different things that I'm learning. You can still learn. It came out in '92. Like I didn't know about that.
It's crazy.
It's compatible with the Famicom and NES with adapter. That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, it's actually crazy, man. It was a cheap way for the people overseas to get their hands on this tech and be able to play these games.
I like the gun too. It looks fancier than our.
The gun reminds me of laser tag. I don't know if you guys remember laser tag.
It does.
Oh yeah, laser tag.
It does look like a laser tag gun.
Original laser tag.
Mr. Urban World said he's searching for it right now to see if he can buy one.
Nice. It's called Ending Man Terminator 2 console. If you can find one, Mr. Urban World, let me know.
I just don't know about the name.
It's so weird, man. Terminator 2.
Long name.
The Terminator like that was what 92, and the hit Terminator movie came out in 91.
That's true.
So they probably would. I'm sure it's branding and some marketing behind it, some strategy behind that for sure.
They piggyback that at some point, I'm sure. But that's awesome, man. I never heard of that console before, but to see what other countries experience compared to us, is just amazing. Because, like I said, you'd bring up Nintendo, and as a matter of fact, I read a Reddit post about somebody in Russia that said their family's friend had a Nintendo. But he was like, he got it from like the KGB. Like the only way to get certain brand name products was to have an in with somebody high up in government. So
crazy.
So he said I had an Ending Man, and he ended up with an actual NES.
That's
Well,
actually pretty cool.
remember we learned last season Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was called something else in the UK.
That's true.
Right?
I did
We
not
learned
know
in
that.
season 1.
What was it? If you don't mind me asking, what was it called? Was it?
I don't remember.
Go watch the video. I don't know.
I was hoping somebody else would remember.
Okay. Hey, Mayne and Windstar, do you guys have
I know the
any
answer. Actually, really quick. It's
Go ahead.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Hero Turtles?
Wow.
Obviously, she can Google faster than me.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
the spelling, Jeff, that speeds it up.
Her Google is much faster.
Do you guys have any arcade experience? I mean, arcades are dying pretty much. They have been for years, but I was able to experience the bright and shiny mall arcades and some dingy arcades. What is your guys' experience with arcades? Starting with you, Mayne.
For me, I would say growing up, there's a place out, probably say close to LA called Bullwinkle's. It was an actual amusement park named after Bullwinkle and Rocky and all that stuff. And they had an arcade in there. And it was like, to me, they had the X-Men arcade in there. They had all sorts of different things. And I would say after that, I played it a couple times in there. And then I moved over there was a arcade in this other amusement park called Castle Park. And they had one there. And I played all types of games. And I would say that for me, it was one of the most enjoyable times in my life because it was like, for me being a kid who loved video games, you're in this area where everywhere you look, there's a game that can be played. Whether I had to pay for it or not, didn't matter. I had access, like I could play X-Men right over there. I could play Gallagher right over here. I could play all that. It blew my mind, and I try to be there. I try to stay there as long as I could.
Did you get pulled out by your ear?
Oh, I got pulled out by the ear. I've got the collar. I've got the collar, of course. And after that, what happens? Your shirt just hangs down like that. Yeah. I have that. The jacket pull, all that, man. Oh, I even had my dad did the what I call the dad hook, where he puts his arm around your chest while you're playing and just
drags you.
He just drags you away.
We're out of here. Let's go.
See, I'm used to hearing my middle name and jump into action. Into action. But when I have a controller in my hand, I don't hear that shit. So
man, listen, you get that middle name called, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it is.
You're toast. Forget it. Yeah.
You're already messed up.
Yeah.
The Aladdins. Yeah, I heard a lot of people talk about those.
Aladdins. Okay.
Not many left.
How about you, Windstar?
Yeah, so I used to go to the mall. They had a place called Tilts. That's where I played a lot of the a lot of games there. The ones that I like stuck to was like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter, games like that. Another one would be Metal Slug. I used to play a lot of Metal Slug. Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah. Love Metal Slug.
Yeah. Funny story with that was like when I was like 7 years old, me and my cousin, my brother would have like a piggy bank with a 5-gallon jug with nothing but quarters. So I like dumped it. It probably took like $25. Like it was like this much. It became like this much.
You had stacks, man. You went in fat.
Wow. And then after that, we just rode our scooters. We went across the catwalk. Went to a little shop that had Metal Slug, and you ate up all of our quarters, and we still didn't beat the game. Yeah, it was probably like $30.
It's a wonderful art direction they took in that game.
Oh man,
wild time playing Metal Slug.
Game. Such a great game.
Love Metal Slug.
I got.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I don't know if you guys remember Showbiz Pizza Place. It was Chuck. Okay, you guys know Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Discount Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, before there was Chuck E. Cheese and there was Showbiz, and Chuck E. Cheese bought Showbiz Pizza Place, but they used to battle. Like it was vicious, and so they used to have all the different types of animatronic whatever robots singing and everything. Yeah. But I'll never forget. I think when I was 10 years, I went there for a birthday. My dad, they surprised me at Showbiz Pizza Place, and they had one of them. They were singing a song with my name, and the place was loaded with arcades. Like, oh my god, it was like Pac-Man and Tron and Turbo, Pole Position. Yeah, so it was awesome.
Was the tagline Showbiz does what Chucky don't?
Pretty much, almost close, man. There's a one day. I'm gonna give There's a video about it, a story about it, and it's really, really good. But now they're all out in deserts, the robots and everything. And now look, they're coming back with video. Chucky, I mean, what it? Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
They're making games about these
Yeah,
things.
yeah. I think the last arcade that I know of right now is a place called Round One. And I think there's like 5 locations in the United States, or something like that. And I think that's the last arcade that I know of that's still up and running, but not many of them left at all.
yeah.
Sad.
Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese. Those animatronics are scary,
Creepy.
man. They're creepy as
Mhm.
hell. They just are. I think.
Then they walk. Then you get the guy, the mascot, walking around talking to kids. Now you were like, please stay away. Like, don't even do it. Just don't do it, please. Just stay where you are. It's okay. Just wave.
Have you guys ever been to an arcade that's like an arcade and a bar combined? We have a
Yes.
couple of those
Yeah,
nearby
yeah.
in the Twin
Yeah.
Cities.
Dave and
Yeah.
Buster's.
Dave and Buster's,
Yep.
Dave and Buster's, yep.
Gangwood
that,
used to be one too.
It's not so retro, but Dave and Buster's is like an Applebee's and an arcade in one.
Yes, sir.
Really, really cool. I remember taking I won't get into the whole detailed story, but I remember taking we drove to where we could get on a train to enter into Chicago. We drove almost to Chicago, jumped on a train. Anyway, make a long story short, the line we needed to get all the way back to his car was done. We didn't know it didn't go back that way anymore. We had to get picked up. But Dave and Buster's was fun. They had this giant space fighter game, and it actually twirled around and lifted you up. It had hydraulics. It was really, really, really cool.
We need one. We have one out here in Ontario. I need to make a call because I want that.
Yeah, it was fun,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, it lift you up and spun you around and stuff.
We
And
saw it.
you actually controlled like the thing a little bit with the joysticks. It was kind of cool.
We were at a
There's
Dave and Buster's like a couple months ago, and they had a like real life size Hungry Hippos game where you sit on the
Nice.
hippo
Oh, wow.
and you gotta like bite the little thing. Oh my
I
god.
love Hungry Hippos.
That would be amazing, man. I played
Ridge
that when I was a
Racer?
little kid.
Had the board game.
Yeah,
There was a restaurant bar arcade
Oh
here in
my
Hamilton,
god,
Ray.
gold tea.
dude, that is a fantastic. I see. All right, this is the conversation I was going to bring up here. One Up Arcades, they make sort of replica. It's all emulation, but they do arcade cabinets to where you can get the almost authentic cabinet with basically authentic art on it,
Right.
and you can even mod it with a Raspberry Pi and put all kinds of games on it. There's all kinds of things you can do with these. We're going to look at a few of them for some nostalgia's sake for some of our favorite ones. And then I would like to ask all you guys what you think the value of this is. And we'll discuss. But Ray says Golden Tea. This thing looks amazing, man. I loved Golden Tea.
Yeah.
I lost like my dad would go for a beer at the bar, and I would sit and play this Golden Tee game, man. And I sucked at golf, but I loved rolling the ball. And I don't know, man. It was amazing.
Hey, you want to see something?
Yep. I'll make you full screen.
I'm gonna show you how much I love Golden Tea.
Oh,
wow.
snap!
Wow.
Now, what is that for?
Huh? Plug it in your TV.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you got the
Nice.
look at that. Remember these days, guys?
That's
Good
retro.
color.
Retro.
Yo.
That is retro. Oh man, there was all kinds of interesting folk at arcades. One of my favorite places though was my roller skating rink. It had an arcade built into it, and that was dark and dingy. And it was.
It wasn't right if it wasn't. It
Yeah.
it had to be. It was the
Absolutely.
atmosphere.
Had to
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
dirty, sticky
Yeah, it has to be
floor.
grimy. Yeah. Yeah, the guy at the counter, kind of nonchalant. Yeah, it has to be. Absolutely.
We'll take a look at the cabinet here with the art real quick.
Dude, I tried to beg my wife to get a cabinet.
But one of the things I was going to say, Ray, if you bought this one-up cabinet and that roller ball was cheap, you'd be
Right.
upset, wouldn't you? If it didn't feel like the arcade roller ball?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the problem when it comes to these arcade one-up machines. And I watched Eddie Player One. You know, when we had him on the first season of Retro Rewind, he showed us his Raspberry Pi cabinet he built like this. I think he bought all the parts separate and then put it together himself. So he bought really good sticks, you know, for the arcade cabinet. I'm just not sure how well all these hold up, but they got NBA Jam.
Wow.
They got all kinds of these, and the artwork is really what turns me on to these cabinets. Is the actual really cool artwork.
That's nice.
It's bringing back memories.
Up to 4-player. I remember.
If you're gonna get one though, it's got to have multiple games. You know, how often can you play the same game?
Yeah, some of these have multiple games built in. Some of them don't.
Right.
But you can always mod them as well. Like here's the Legacy Arcade. That's got a whole bunch of Atari, I'm sure. But my question to you guys is this: what do you guys see a value in this? Now, these are about $600 to $700, and just to give you an example, a fully restored real cabinet.
Go for it.
Goes for that.
Jeez.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I am not a
nice.
collector, and I'm okay with emulation. Some people are not okay with emulation. But if I was going to spend $700 on a cabinet, I think I'd get a broke down version of this and repair it myself and try to restore it, because you're going to have the original stick. You're going to have like all this is original, is completely original parts. This is from
the original quality. You can't.
Yeah, I mean the construction. It's going to be real wood. It's going to be steel. But the price tag. I mean, holy moly! But this,
or you can pay as low as $259 a month.
yeah, you can finance this thing. Hey, thank you for. I'm getting it now, Mayne. You talked me into it.
You know what? $250.
Buy a car for that.
But I just find it amazing that there's still people out there that are taking these products and making them new again with original parts. They're not necessarily a remanufactured part. It's old new stock or old stock made to look new, and
Right.
all that. It's amazing. But that price tag is huge. But this is a MUcade at Etsy. So if anybody wants to check out and maybe look into real cabinets, you can definitely look into that. They have
MTV Cribs is where you would find like people that have money and they can like do their man caves with stuff like that. Like
correct. But if you were building a man cave, Ray, and money didn't matter, would you have a bunch of one-up arcades, or would you have a bunch of the real?
I would. Yes, I would. Yeah, I would. Because you know what? Because it's just it's like somebody. It's like my dad. My dad used to collect old cars, and he would just. And I never. And I'm like, God, those cars are so old. But it's just you sit back and you just think about the good times back in the days when you played it. But yeah, it's a blast from your past.
If you had some friends over, would they know the difference?
Oh yeah, I think they. I mean, dude, the cabinets that One Up Arcade are selling, they're not trash by any means.
Right.
And it does bring back that nostalgic feeling. But I guess what I'm getting at is if it's not real wood you're holding on to, or the stick doesn't feel solid, are you going to get those same feelings anyway?
We show that picture where they're all worn off. And
that's what I'm getting to right now. So one of these guys purchased a couple of these, and he asks, he says, "Am I being a snob? These one-up arcades are garbage." In his opinion now. This is one at my local Walmart for $300. Maybe I'm being a snob, but I think these are not even close to being worth $300. Now, $300 is not $700, so I would expect some cheaper stickers, or you know what I'm saying. Art or whatever.
Hey, I don't care. I paid the $300. I paid the $300 because it's the same game. It does the same functions. Does it look like the originals? No, but I'm not shelling out $6,000.
Yeah, for the real cabinet. Now this guy gets to the crux of it. I think he says my uncle wanted to get a Pac-Man for my aunt. He knew I was going into arcade games and asked me to help him. When I told him it would cost at least $1,000, he was shocked. I got a one-up instead, and it is perfect for a 60-year-old who wants to play Pac-Man a handful of times a year. These one-ups are for people like him.
Absolutely.
That is That's my whole point. I
Absolutely.
think
And they
he
look
nailed
really
it.
cool as decoration
Yeah.
too, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that I think it's like a niche thing, right? It's more like you for the enthusiasts. Those
Mhm.
are the people that are going to purchase those, or people who are just
Preference.
yes. If you don't really care about what kind of wood or if it's retro or vintage, then it's not for you. It's not you're not the demographic. But those who are like really serious and particular about that, who have fond memories, right? They have families who maybe their dad took them to an arcade during vacation, and that was the one thing that they were looking forward to and play on that same cabinet, things like that. Then I would say that, yeah, those people, that's for those people. But also people who just like, hey man, it's Galaga. I don't care what it is. I want what's inside. I don't care about the shell.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that
Galaga
it's
on the
people like
screen.
that. Yeah,
That's all I
it.
need. And
Good.
that's the way I am. That's why most of this stuff doesn't matter to me. But if I
Yeah.
was to get a Tron cabinet, I'd want the Tron cabinet
Okay, absolutely.
because it would feel
Absolutely.
different, you know.
Absolutely.
300 Tron right here, folks. 300 Tron. 300 Tron right here. Guess what? I'll go to Target. I'll buy some flashy lights.
Yep.
Get some
the
RGB strips.
the strips, and just slap that on there. I'm good to go.
You'll church it up yourself, man. I don't
Exactly.
blame you. I don't blame you, man. At all.
man. By the way, Cali Fed, I did to go back. Bullwinkles did get bought out and turned into Boomers. Man, it's so great to have other fellow Southern Californians in here. But yeah, that they did turn into Boomers, and thank you for pointing that out. That's what I was looking for when I was talking about it. Absolutely.
Somebody mentioned Tilt.
Yeah.
Paul, if you can put in the chat what you think of your 1-up and what game it actually is. I'd appreciate that, bud.
Oh, Mayne, you said Ontario. I thought you meant Ontario, Canada. You meant
no, I'm sorry.
He meant the better Ontario.
Better
No, that's not
the better one. The better one. More warmer, not colder.
Right.
Pin on that one.
The warmer Ontario.
I will. You know what? I will in the future. I'm looking at the Frogger 1-up.
Frogger?
Because that was a game from my past that I used to play. And before I would go home from school, I would stop there to play it. It was in a laundromat, and it would be warm inside the laundromat, and it'd be cold outside, and I would play Frogger, and it just brings back memories.
Only two 1-up cabinets interest me. Maybe 3 now with the golf, because I really like Golden Tee. But the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original arcade cabinet and the Simpsons beat 'em up game. Those two 1-up cabinets. Those are the 2 cabinets that I would actually purchase in sport. But like I said, I would never spend the $400 to $600 for one, because I can emulate it right on my PC and play it. So, which everybody, if you're not into emulation, give it a shot. You might like it. You can play with any controller you've already got, and you can finish a lot of these old arcade games that ate so many of your quarters. It's a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah, I think for me, if I were to look at one, I'm looking right now because you guys got me interested. I see that there's the X-Men 4-player.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Don't show me a picture,
man.
Please don't show me a picture of the X-Men.
Look, I won't.
Don't show me a picture of the
I
X-Men.
see that one, but I also see a Marvel vs. Capcom one that I want.
Yes, Marvel
and
versus
X-Men
Capcom
versus Street Fighter. Oh man, those are like musts for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, guys.
Got you some purchases to make.
Thank you very much.
For the Marvel vs. Capcom.
I know.
Mr. Bayram Plays says, I have the Street Fighter 2 Legacy Edition, which comes with 12 games. And yeah, it's perfect for the price, in my opinion. Games seem to run fine. The screen is really clean and colors pop. Buttons are also really fine. I think that's the only thing that I would miss out on a real cabinet is the colorful, bright screen. Because it's definitely worlds different.
CRT. Yeah. Yep.
I'd go with Paul's 300 to 400 and get those games. Come on, dude, six grand on a.
Hey, you can't argue with that, man. I mean, I bet you all that art in the room looks fantastic, even if it's not the actual full cat. The art is really, really, really.
Dude,
awesome.
I come in with a $6,000 upgrade, and my wife looks at her wedding set and she goes, "I thought we were gonna upgrade my center diamond." But look at this, honey.
You said this
Tron.
is
Tron, no,
say wedding set or Neo Geo.
So Anthony Cowboy says in the arcade, I believe X-Men was 6 players. Well, in this cabinet, they kind of chopped it down to 4, so that way it could,
It looks pretty wide too,
Yeah.
though. Like,
yeah,
you actually get-
it's definitely much wider. But
That's
yeah,
an interesting point.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I remember standing in line to wait to play that game, and then I had to get all
Isn't
the
that
way on the
crazy?
corner. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it was
Yeah.
bro.
yeah, man. They fit two
I
people.
wasn't a corner guy, dude. I was like, dude, just jump ahead of me, man. I don't do corners.
Look,
I
he
didn't
was
do
like, "Now
corners.
listen, bro. I'm not getting the corners. You're gonna switch me. I'm not doing it. So
Yeah.
you move over here. Thank you.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
in
He's
the middle.
sitting by that window, man.
I'm not doing it. So
You like the corners.
move your quarter over here. I move mine right here, and that's what it's gonna be.
I think I did. Oh my god, what was that game? By
Ooh,
Gauntlet. I did
Gauntlet?
better for Gauntlet.
yeah. Gauntlet was an amazing arcade game, man. They tried to port it to console, and I enjoyed that game too, but
I
it wasn't
enjoyed
quite
it.
like the arcade.
Hell no.
Yeah. You know what I would actually love if they had a arcade. Believe it or not, this is one of the games I also have fun with too. Is Spy Hunter.
Yes,
I actually
Spy
like
Hunter.
that game. I think that would be a
Yep.
good one too. Oh my man. Okay, I see you right.
Especially especially didn't they made a remake of Spy Hunter where you
They
could drive up
did.
into the truck and then come back
Yeah.
out and
Yeah, featuring the Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson or
Yes.
Rock the Dwayne, whichever you prefer. Yeah, but I prefer this. I prefer that one much better. The oil slick and everything. Yeah, give me that one. I'm good. That'd be a nice
Battletoads
one.
was so hard. I'd beat the shit
know,
out of
it's
that
hard.
arcade cabinet. I'd be elbowing it. Come on! Come on! I couldn't handle it, man.
Come on.
Battletoads, man. It hurt my feelings.
Oh man.
Was it as hard as the Lion King?
At least the part where you're driving on the side, man. That side view was really, really bad. But the Lion King, those damn monkeys that were supposed to throw you would piss me off every damn time.
How could a game like that be so challenging and hard?
Shit,
Like,
I
never
don't know.
understood
I
that.
thought everything the light touches was my kingdom. Get out of my way.
Hold on, another shout out to Spy Hunter though. But you guys remember Sunsoft Games that made Batman,
Oh,
Spy
yeah.
Hunter.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So many good titles, man.
Yeah.
We could talk for hours about all this stuff, man.
Absolutely,
me.
man.
We
Absolutely.
got 30 minutes left.
Absolutely.
Good.
And we're getting ready to jump into your
Give me
specialty
Blaster
there,
Masters.
Jeff.
And
But
Blaster Masters too.
since we're looking at the one up arcade cabinets, let's look at one more. And this is the
Oh.
T2.
I
Memories.
didn't know one up had that.
Now, this is another cabinet I would want for real because the guns were metal, heavy, and they shook, and they,
Yeah, those look like squirt guns.
yes, these do. They look like squirt guns, man.
Right. Their only row was to let you know who's player 1 and player 2. That was the only row. This color and this color. That was it.
Oh, man, this is bringing back. And
But
guess
the
what?
art-
My red was my favorite color. My cousin would grab the red. I push him over to the blue. Red.
Give me my shit back. What are
Yeah,
you doing?
red was my go-to.
Look at that, man. Now it did not look that good on the original screen.
Hell
It,
no.
it didn't. It was a little darker, But this guy bought the cabinet. He gives it a good review.
See, he had
Not-
matching stools too.
yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's so cool.
I'm not sure about the guns though. If there's any mechanism that makes it shake or not, I think that would be an important part to have in there. But
You had the grenade on the what was it though?
the side button,
Side button, man. Oh my
Yep.
god.
fantastic game, fantastic cabinet. Had a lot of fun with this one.
He's got the Tron.
Yes, he does.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
That still looks good, man.
Those are zombies ate my neighbor water guns.
I was just saying, I loved that game growing up.
Which
I love
arcade
that
shooter
game.
had Aerosmith? I remember the Aerosmith.
Which
Yeah,
arcade
that's
shooter?
fun.
Ray, you just mentioned this last time. What was that Aerosmith game? Revolution or
I think it was Aerosmith's.
what the hell was that called?
I think
We
it was Aerosmith's Revolution, man. And yes, Steve Tyler used to pop up,
Yeah.
I think, with his tongue out.
But yeah, I mean, those cabinets do look really nice in a
Revolution X.
Revolution X.
Yes, yeah. There you go.
But the cabinets look really nice. And for the price, considering it costs $6,000 for a fully restored real one. But of course, there's not a big, huge board in this, and
Oh, shout out to Paul. He just dropped something.
But it looks amazing. Yes. There is a mod where you can hook up a Raspberry Pi to a 1-up machine, which then anything you have connected to the Raspberry Pi becomes a very large jukebox. It's basically like the hard drive that I got from a special someone, and has all kinds of retro on it.
Area 51.
And then at that point, everything the light touches is your kingdom.
Yes, absolutely. And it's dark in the room, and the light's touching everything. It's all mine.
Oh my God, memory.
Man, Area 51 was great.
Yeah,
that looks like a decent arcade cabinet for home for the money.
It does.
This game.
It definitely does.
Remember, what was it? Narco? What was it? Narcs? What the hell?
Narcs? Did it have a gun, or were you running around beating people up?
Nah, Narcs. I think Narcs had a gun.
Right on. But yeah, that cabinet, it looks really, really cool, man. Don't know about the guns, like I said, if it does any of that stuff.
I don't see. I think Narc just had the sticks.
That's what I thought.
You know what? You're right. They had the sticks, but if you went and because it did get ported, it got ported a lot. The company Ocean made a Narcs. God, who else?
You mind if I share this this shot real quick?
Yeah, right on, man.
Okay, let's see.
Absolutely, sir.
So I believe it's this guy here. Can you guys see it? Or is it showing up?
He's got it.
There it is. There
you go. Yep.
Wow.
So
looks like my old school TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Say no to drugs, and that's a dingy arcade. Do you know how many drugs are in a dingy arcade?
Oh yeah. There are probably drugs on that.
Right. Yeah, probably. There's probably residue. You could test it.
Got it.
That's funny.
That's amazing, man.
Damn.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Mayne, did you ever see that 3D game? Like you walked up to it, it's like a circle, and you're looking down in it, and it's supposed to be 3D like the Star Wars chess. It had a cowboy.
No.
It cost like $2 to play the damn game back in the day. And it was all free. I'll have to look it up. It was really expensive.
Man, you was on your way home if you had a game that cost $2. You were like, Mom, can I get $2? Okay, well, how many games you gonna play? Just one. You said what?
Yeah, yep. No. That's how it worked. I got $1, played one game, and she's like, "Oh, you don't get no more. You're
right.
You're making those decisions. I ain't gonna help you.
It's time to go. You made your choice. Let's go. I hope it was worth it. Get your drink. Let's go.
No doubt. It was a time traveling game. You were a cowboy or something. I'll have to look it up later, but it's pretty interesting though. Really? And it was kind of a gimmick. But it did look really 3D though. And your cowboy would like walk up to an Indian, and you had to shoot or dodge and you were literally moving a 3D representation of a filmed footage of a real person. It was weird.
Wow.
But
that's interesting. Look at this though.
Yeah, Jeff shared this on Twitter, and I wanted to bring it up and show.
I got something for y'all.
He says, Duck Fact 57. The Legend of Zelda series was inspired by Shigeru Miyamoto's childhood encounter with a duck who told him tales of bravery and grand adventure. What I think this means is he did actually do this, but in his mind he had like a duck friend, and they did all kinds of stories and tales, and some of these things that happened in his make-believe adventures made it into the game.
Some of the comments are hilarious.
Yes, I was going to scroll down and show some of those. There's two guys discussing where they thought the original idea for Zelda came from. I'm going to give them a shout out real quick. Actually, that's not even a link to their channel. It's just a video. ColecoVision Lives. They discuss Alcazar, the Forgotten Fortress. And I'd never heard of this game. So I listened to them talk for a couple minutes, and then I popped over to check it out. And this is what they thought before figuring out that it was a duck and a kid that figured out that was the start of Zelda. This is a ColecoVision game. It came out a few years before Zelda. And this is one of the first generally, I can't even say the damn word.
World.
Generally preceded world, or I can't say it.
Yeah, procedurally generated.
Yeah. Okay, so it does that. And you got multiple rooms, you got multiple levels, you got multiple layers to the dungeons.
Nice.
It's pretty interesting.
It is very
ColecoVision.
similar to Zelda too. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it is. They they used to copy off one another.
Yeah.
Back then.
That's how it goes.
I mean, there was even some games that were just like copy and paste.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
never
yeah.
know where inspiration or straight out theft will come into play.
Right.
It happens.
Wow, is that fire?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Okay, hey,
Looks like a dagger.
right?
S-
I'm thinking it's a machine gun or something. He just blasted him.
Hey, Will, I put something in the private, a link that I think all you retro buffs would probably like. You can click on there, get a little bit of history on a lot
Alrighty.
of stuff.
Give me just a second and I'll have it pulled up. Let me pop over here and add it.
Hey, guess who just found out that there's like a second spot for stream chat? Because I totally have it popped out from YouTube on the side and did not know that it was there until just now.
Oh no.
Oh, see, you learn something every day.
Boom. Let me get this a little bigger here so Ray can discuss. I'm gonna put you with it, Ray. Hold on.
Gotcha.
Oh,
All right.
and then
Yeah,
let me
well,
hold on. I know.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, guys. So this is Atari Mania, but if you ever want to go to the publishers, and if you ever just look up games, from your past, or man, I can't remember that game. This has like a buttload of games, and you can click on it, and you can look at the front cover, look at the back cover, gives you a little history and stuff like that. But you can even put the publishers. Like I was looking up Ocean. You can look up. There was Ocean, Sunsoft, SNK. All these old classic companies that don't even exist no more. You can go back and look at some of the games.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
RoboCop down here, Ocean. I played so many Ocean titles, man.
God, dude, those are the best. Like kind of like side scroll platforms.
I 100% agree with you on that,
I
man.
remember
Ocean was
playing
amazing. Sunsoft was amazing.
Cabal.
Even this is a hot take. Even LJN, man, had some good titles, man.
Well, see, we have a dispute because you love Friday the 13th. That was by LJN.
Yeah.
I love LJN because they made the original wrestling games. People don't even remember.
What? Of course, I remember. I played them. Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely.
So, man, but this guys just go back, click. I like clicking on stuff and just going back and like, and then I go back to my my ROMs and I go play them.
That's cool, man.
Operation Thunder.
I am definitely going to have to check this site out. That is cool.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. SPG.
Oh, no problem, man.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Let's see. That was the cabinet. Okay. All right, Jeff, we're going to jump over to your segment, sir. If you are ready to rock and Z-roll.
I was born ready. So for those that don't know, every episode I do something called This Week in Retro, where I look back at what happened on this day or these days, many, sometimes before people were born. Not me, but, other people. So what do we got? March 27th, 1997, the Tone Rebellion on Windows. Do you have that? Guess not. Can't hear Will anymore. All right, then. Maybe he'll bring it up. Maybe he won't. He's just moving around. All right, 28th, Lord of Thunder, the Sega CD. Big Red Racing, both DOS and Windows version. And my all-time favorite text-based game, 1983, Zork, the Underground Empire. Mayne, I think you talked about your first, or maybe Windstar, one of you talked about your first computer. I think 64 or the PET, VIC-20. I think those were some of my first computers. Oh, you're all coming back.
We sure are, buddy. I was trying to make you full screen with the panel thing, and it wasn't working, so I removed everybody, and then nobody's audio could come through. So we're back.
So do you have any of these games open? Which ones do you were flashing?
The next ones I
the
do.
next screen? Okay. All right,
Yep.
cool. To Mayne and Windstar, text-based games. Did you ever play any text-based games back in the day?
I would say Oregon Trail was mine.
All right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Oregon
God.
Trail.
Nice.
I love that
Nice.
game.
Very
Nice.
Good
Nice.
shout.
Yeah.
First
That's
Good
very
shout.
text-based. Very
Good
text-based.
shout.
And everyone was talking about A Link to the Past. That just happened to come out April 1st, April Fool's 1992.
Wow.
That's
Long time
crazy.
ago.
Need for Speed Dose.
That's 30 years.
Yeah. I didn't
Wow.
bring up Need for Speed 2, but the next one I did.
MDK2.
No.
Zelda? Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
It's legendary.
Zelda.
Yes.
Love the intro.
I think this has come up a couple
Man.
times today, has it not?
Yeah,
Oh man.
This is the Link to the Past. This was my one of my favorite Zelda games. Now, somebody earlier in the chat mentioned Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. I love that game. It was very different than the first one, but I loved it. And Crow Resin, Mark, and Mr. Urban World, it was called Time Traveler, the game. That's the 3D game I was talking about.
Sweet.
But yeah, this game was a fantastic title for me.
Yep.
I loved it.
Yeah, this game was awesome.
Oh, absolutely, man. The pink hair too.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 1997, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Counter-Strike. That's a long ass
I played that. That was a really good strategy game.
Yeah, that one.
Westwood Studios, they did a bunch of shit back in the day.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these strategy games, man, people fell in love with and played the shit out of them, man. Just like World of Warcraft, you know? Yeah, it's nice. It's cool.
You guys were talking about your least favorite. My least favorite is the entire first-person, shooter genre. I just can't shoot worth a crap, as you guys all know. Anyone who's watched me play PUBG or anything, you guys all know I'm terrible at these games. So that whole anything where I have to shoot something, I am horrible at it.
Wow.
I can agree with that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Some of you have played and watched me play PUBG, and you know how horrible I am.
Ages of Empire. Good shout, man. Good shout.
And MDK2. Jeff, you want to tell us about that as I play this?
I played a bunch of this back in the day. I think this was a Windows version. I think I had it on. May have been DOS, but yeah, this another one of these classic games that I love this comic book opening that it has. Can you fast forward through the?
Yep.
What do you got there?
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
I know these graphics. Some of the and this was this Windows?
It's ahead of its time.
Windows? Yeah.
Yeah, this is Windows. Yep.
Is this the Windows? Yeah, because I think there's a Windows and a DOS version. I think I had the Windows.
Woo! Look at that.
Look at the light.
Look at that.
Man.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
This is a remake. That's what this is.
Bro. He's like dodging those
It's cool because it's zooming in too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dreamcast was an amazing system that was ahead of its time. Its controller thing with the little screen was a kind of a novelty, and it didn't do much. But the system itself was underrated, man. Ready to Rumble, it just turned me on right away. It looked so fantastic compared to any other title out.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi was fantastic.
Oh yeah. To me, Rival Schools was another one for me.
Oh yeah, Power Stone.
Power Stone, yeah.
And the Dreamcast got a bunch of RPGs that no other system got as well.
Oh yeah. I would even say that another revolutionary game was Seaman. Actually, was another revolutionary.
Seaman, yeah, that game. I always messed with my internal clock so I could get shit to happen quicker. But it was narrated by Leonard Nimoy. Man, that game was a trip. I literally had a fish with a human face look at me and call me like an ass or something. He called me name.
Really?
Yeah, you had a microphone, Miss Tracy, and you had to talk to the aquarium that's your TV.
Right.
It's like an aquarium. Yeah,
it was insane.
It is definitely
You
incredible.
know what? Now I might have to go on eBay and look for this game for my Dreamcast.
Now that's a game we should get a sequel to or a remake to.
really
Is
good.
Jet Grind Radio? The
Oh,
music,
okay.
the music, and
Yeah,
the game was just so much
Oh,
fun. Go ahead,
House
man.
of the Dead too.
they
Yes,
are working
definitely.
on a spiritual successor. That's
Okay.
coming out, I think, this year or the next. It has a different title, but you watched it. Actually, I'll look for it and see if we can watch it. But it's definitely they heard you, and they're definitely working on that.
That
for
would
sure.
be awesome, man. I had so much fun playing Jet Grind Radio. So much fun trying to get all the spray paint and tags, and it was
Yes,
it was
sir.
just awesome.
Wow.
Let me see.
Yeah, yep. With the guns, that was really awesome, Andrew.
Called Bomb
absolutely.
Rush Cyberfunk, believe it or not, and it's a spiritual successor. So yeah, if you can check out a trailer or pull it up somewhere, but yeah, it's definitely they heard you. They're working on that.
Awesome, man. I'm gonna check that out after the show. That sounds amazing. I really did love that. The music, especially, it puts you right in the mood to do tricks, and I don't know, man. There's just something special about that game and the way it looked.
I actually post the trailer. I post the link to the trailer in private just in case anybody wants to check it out. Also,
alrighty, there you are, Jeff.
There we go. So, of course, Star Wars Episode 1 back in year 2000, PlayStation.
Wow, PlayStation. I remember that.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got a video? Excellent.
Yep. Jedi Power Battles. This wasn't one of my favorite Star Wars titles, but it was good though.
I had a friend working at LucasArts around that time that game came out.
What's not to love about it, Will?
It's just old.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Remember, you can't look at it with today's eyes, as we
Correct.
always say.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
Was
just
it multiplayer back then?
I don't know. I bet
this
it
was single
was.
player. I think this is single player.
Okay.
yeah, Power Battles was single. This is Power Battles. Yeah, this is a single player.
There was a multiplayer one though. I'm not sure what it was called.
I think that was what was it? It wasn't Jedi Knight Academy or Jedi Academy or something along those lines. It was
those were good games.
Is it me or is his lightsaber pretty long?
That thing is long and strong.
That thing is large and in charge. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Long, loose, and full of juice.
Yeah.
And we talked about it earlier. The problem with some of these early PlayStation 1 games is there was no save. I've played a number of them where there's no save.
Yeah.
And I was playing the Die Hard game, and when you die, that's it. You got to start all over again.
Yep.
Right?
No save. No save in a lot of the early PlayStation games. I mean, all of them suffered from it, but the early PlayStation games had jaggies from hell.
Yeah, they were original roguelike games. OG, you got one run, and that was it. Starting over.
But
sounds like Dark Souls.
They did do the memory cards though, which my god,
changed the game, man.
Changed the game. Yeah.
And for some people who were rich or were special, they could play their Neo Geo, pop their memory card out, and stop at the arcade on the way home from school and keep playing.
Mark in the chat said Power Battles did have multiplayer, which I thought it did, but
okay.
I just couldn't remember. That's just too long ago. And
okay. Or that was another thing that Cali use a code to go back to your spot. So that was actually really smart feature.
That was smart. Yeah. Because just look at Mike Tyson's Punch Out. They had a code for almost every scenario: win, losses, whatever. There was a code for it. I mean,
that would be interesting if a company or a developer brought that back in a way. That would be pretty cool. Just for like a retro or nostalgic kind of feature. That would be pretty cool.
I don't know why we don't have more Punch Out games. And I don't mean Punch Out, but I mean like the games that you can jump into really fast and they have a repetitive thing that's catchy. I don't know, not a lot of those anymore.
No, not at all.
Like Metal Slug.
I think people would hate it. I think they just want their save point. They want to go. I think people, if you got to now remember this code, you got to write it down. Where is this code? You're going to lose this stupid code.
That would not work today. No.
That's why I feel like people will never know the struggle like we did with Action Replay and the code breakers and
Game Genie.
Yeah, going to the store to look at that code book and having that napkin that you write on. And
dude, the first game I ever beat in a magazine, it told me was unbeatable. Or not a magazine, a book. I bought a book of NES codes, tips, and tricks or something. Yeah. And in the back, it gave me the Mike Tyson's Punch Out code to get to Mike Tyson. And that's what I bought the book for. But Bionic Commando. I had just beat the game like a week before, and I read in there the very last. I wanted a strategy for the last boss. I read in there it says cannot be completed. I was like, I beat that game, bro. How did you write this book? I don't think you'd have published that today. I think it would have been
somebody didn't beat it. Whoever that
Yeah,
was, they never
he
beat
said
it.
It was
Could not be beat
unbeatable.
by me.
Exactly.
Is what
There
she
you go.
said.
And this game was also on Game Boy Advance and Dreamcast.
Wow.
Nice.
William, you still play Rainbow Six?
Yes, I do. Not this version, but I certainly do, and it's come a long way. Go ahead and tell them what version that was.
I put this in for you, Will.
This is some old Rainbow Six.
Man.
Red
There we
Star.
go.
Look at that.
Whoa, look at that.
Let's get to the actual mission. Here we go.
Wow.
That's old school right there.
That's that GoldenEye.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it reminds me of GoldenEye.
It
You
does.
have a mini map.
But the thing that was different about this than GoldenEye is you could do severe strategy and call out to your teammates and breach. Breaching was very important so that your hostages didn't get killed. I love these old games, man.
So are you saying that this was the first Siege before Siege?
Pretty much. But it wasn't so multiplayer. You know what I mean? It was more team operated, you know. But it is definitely one of the first thoughts of, hey, can we have a 3 or 4 person team? What about 2 teams that go up against each other? I mean, it's an average or a normal step, I think, you know.
Part of me feels like some of these stages or some of these layouts are in, like they went back and looked at these and implemented them in Siege in some areas, some instances, I think.
Now, Mr. Urban World, got a question for you. Do you mean the Bionic Commando like reimagining, or are you talking about the 2D version that was re-released on the PS3 with some upgrades to make it look a little more 3D? It was Rearmed, I think that one was called. That's the one I liked. It was just like the first Bionic Commando, but just a little more 3D. But they did make a third person, like not open world, but large game with Bionic Commando.
Good old Mother Arm.
Yep, and I didn't like that one too much. I played a little bit of it, though.
Got him.
Is this
Save
Vegas?
the hostages.
Man, he took ages to fall down.
Yep, this is Rogue Spear, Dre. Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. You could probably play this on a baked potato now.
Mr. Urbanwell said it was not rearmed.
It was not rearmed. Okay, so he's talking about the AAA Bionic Commando game they made.
Wow, I remember holding this in the store and looking at the cover, and I was like, "Man, this game looks pretty good."
Right. He was like Bills or this game.
And last but not least, Hugo's House of Horrors #3.
No,
I remember this. I had just finished college.
I hate to correct you, Jeff. I brought up 2. Hugo 3, The Jungle of Doom, which is right here.
Oh, wow.
And I brought up the House of Horrors that you said was your favorite. They're 2 different games, bro.
No, I know they're different games, but Hugo 3 is based on is successor to 1 and 2.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, continue.
Yeah. But I remember this one came out just as we were finishing college, and so we would, even though we were done, we would still go back and install it on our college machines and play it.
Right
no,
on.
don't go alone.
Is this a text-based one, or is this just action that's happening?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have to pick up items and figure out like little puzzles and stuff to continue?
Exactly. Yep.
Right on.
Yep. This is back when I used to like to read.
and this is your other favorite one, huh?
It is Hugo's House of Horrors. Yeah.
So
tell us a little bit about it.
Then you saw the movie.
Tell us a little bit about it, Jeff, real quick before we say goodbye to our guests and hear what's happening.
You got your text-based, and you're like your Zork, but then you've also got some animations to go with it. So you can see the guy, open the door, get the candle, right? And you can actually watch them do it as opposed to the old games where you had to just type it right?
Nice.
You know what it reminds me of? Home Alone.
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
It does, man. Or that old kind of crappy Friday the 13th game that's on the Commodore. I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
What is the whistle for? And that's
I
why
don't,
I like.
I don't
why
want to know where the whistle's going.
No, we don't do that. That's for before or after the show.
What the hell is that?
What is that? Is that the Hulk?
I was just going to say, purple shorts, green body. Come on.
Did Igor get hit with radiation? Some gamma radiation? What's going on?
What? And he goes in there.
Interesting.
He walks in there. He goes, "Yeah, you out of Pop-Tarts."
It is Igor. Look at that. I didn't know his name was actually Igor.
Oh my God. I can't believe his name is Igor.
Igor, put on these pink tight booty shorts.
Now.
Come join my squad. We must
Ray, I got a box for you to get into. Come on.
Uh-oh.
Right.
He says there's plenty of room. The water's fine.
I don't think so, man.
Wow.
All right, guys.
I like that small little detail. You can actually walk behind the glass. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
That is a
Well, all right,
2011 movie, guys.
Thank you guys both, Mayne and Windstar. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to spend with us today. It was a fabulous conversation. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Definitely. Mayne, starting with you, man. Where can people find you? What are you going to be up to? And what you got happening?
Oh man, as far as finding me, you can find me on Twitter at Mayne_games. You could also find me on YouTube as well at Mayne Games. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm playing games. I'm doing walkthroughs. I'm doing guides. I'm doing motivational videos. I'm doing all kind of things. So yeah, please check out for that. I also have some content that I'm going to be working with Windstar soon. We're going to be working on that and some co-op stuff and some other things that we got going on. So that's it for me. If you want to talk, you want to hang out, check me out. I'm available and look forward to hearing from you guys. But that's it for me.
Cool thing.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining us, Mayne, man. It was a blast,
very
man.
much.
Like I said,
I appreciate it.
Windstar, how about you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Windstar715. Same as YouTube, it's Windstar715. At the moment, I am playing playthroughs of Valkyria Chronicles on Stadia and also Tales of Arise for the PC.
Ooh, that game is so good.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm just doing here and there I'll be live, but I don't have a schedule essentially. So I don't know, just try to catch me live, I guess.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate you spending time with us today. It was a blast. Ray, what are you up to? Where can people find you, sir?
Tonight on my YouTube channel, and you can go to Ray3473. I always post when I'm going live. I'm going to be playing some WWE 2K22 tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific time. And then tomorrow for the Stadia Bash community, I'm going to do some Transformers Battleground. So that's what I got going on.
Right on, man. Miss Tracy, what are you going to be up to? Where can people find you?
I'm mostly on Twitch. I mean, I do have my YouTube channel, but I have been really on Twitch lately, streaming twitch.tv/Miss Tracy, MIZ Tracy with an E. We do a variety of games. My community is kind of awesome. I love my community. Just kind of hang out and chat while we play games, and we're doing Conan Exiles, Fallout 76, Halo, Ark, just a variety of stuff lately. I'm there most nights at 9:15 p.m. Central, other than Mondays and Wednesdays. And sometimes during the day, I do some random stuff too. So I'll share my link in chat.
Awesome. Yeah, you got to collect those thralls.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Conan is so much fun.
Absolutely. Jeff, where can people find you, sir?
Everyone can find me at Jeff Janak, both Twitter, Instagram, anything that's important. Jeff M. Janak on the TikTok. And let's see, tomorrow night, Wreckfest Monday. I got the bus. Everyone who wants to come. Last week was cool. There were 10 of us in the game playing. I think that was
so much fun.
That was, everyone's welcome to come out and try to take on my blue bus, which is impossible. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be doing, Crow and I be doing some Crata. And I'm going to try to get back to Adam Wolf. I love that. That's why I like the Hugo Horrors. I like Adam Wolf. It's very
I can see that.
I love
Sounded
that.
Sounded like you said Hugo's Horse, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm loving Hugo's Horse. But
he's into that too, folks.
That's the fourth game in the works right now.
Yeah.
It's a remake.
Interactive.
And then anthology. On Friday, I know it's the first of the month. Everyone's going to be doing their Stadia playthroughs, but Retro Friday night, PlayStation 3. Is that retro? is that a retro console,
I think
PlayStation
so.
3?
Now,
I'm going. I don't know. A lot. Some people tell me yes. Some people tell me no.
well, some people
when
say if
when
it's
I
got
asked that-
HDMI, it's over. That's
I
what
think,
I've
but
heard.
I think technically they would consider it vintage at this
Yes,
point. Yeah,
vintage.
No,
whatever. I think
somebody-
it's retro.
No, somebody. Who was it? Was it Andrew? Somebody last week was saying no. It's 20 years. 20. They drew. Some people draw the line at HDMI. Some people say 20. Anyways, I don't care. I'm pulling out Duke Nukem for the PlayStation 3.
Wow.
I'm pulling out
Balls of steel.
John
Duke.
St. James is coming for yeah. So, anyways, Friday night. Whether you think it's retro or not, I don't care. I do. So there we go.
Awesome. Sounds good,
Automatic.
Jeff.
And William, what are you playing this week, my friend?
Yeah, man. I had some computer issues that I got solved, but Monday I have to go help my dad, so I'm going to be streaming probably more at like 4 o'clock for a couple hours. And it's going to be some Doom Eternal. I'm going to finish the Ancient Gods, and I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, usually at 12 p.m. To 2 p.m. CST. And thank you guys all for hanging out with us and participating in the chat. We can't thank you enough, man. And we appreciate you guys. We're going to go ahead and end the stream here, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Take care,
Enjoy
y'all.
those games.